What's up, guys? Here we are. We're doing this thing, I guess. Not sure what happened. There might have been a miscommunication perhaps in that time. I'm not sure. I'm really bummed because I was really excited to talk to Mr. Ron Felber, and there's still maybe a chance he might be on the West Coast. Maybe there's some sort of a mix-up, and we got the times off by 3 hours. That's happened before. So really quick, guys, first of all, thank you very much for tuning in tonight, and I'm going to bring in our guest in the background, Chad Smith, and the one and only Sonny from Paranormal Chapter, who will be joined by Amanda and Papa Willy. Thank you guys very much, because this is technically their night, and we'll explain some of that, I guess, in this episode. We'll just go ahead and do it live. So slight change of plans. We don't have a set plan for the night, but we're going to have a good time either way. And I just wanted to mention, too, really quick, if you guys could, go check out SOR, because starting tomorrow night, we will be starting the After Hours show with myself, Gemma Jade, and John Hudson. I also wanted to give a quick update, too, as to where I've been. I unfortunately caught the words we're not allowed to say on the internet, so did my whole house. So if I say anything tonight or I seem off, there's a reason why. That stuff messed with my head. I'm telling you, like, I've been talking with the boys a couple nights, and they've seen where I couldn't remember, like, simple words. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm not sure if we're live on Sonny's end. I hope we are. If we're not, we are still streaming over there. But if not, we'll make sure to get that set up for them. So, guys, without anything else to add here, let me first of all bring in Sonny. What's up, brother? How's it going? Chad, what's shaking, brother? How are we all doing tonight?
Good, dude. How's it going?
I'm
over there at the garage.
Yeah, I guess.
No headphones. We okay?
It's
no feedback or nothing.
I don't hear anything. I don't know if
you
it's
sound good.
You guys
Sonny.
are still live on your end, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we are.
Oh, yeah, but we're muted over there.
This is very different because Spooky is now running the show on our end because he's on
I
our
just
show.
checked in on that. If Spooky wants in to hang out, does he need a link? I can send him a link if he's up for it. He can pop it.
He would need a link.
Yeah, we'll drop Spooky a link.
All right, if you wouldn't mind
We can
forwarding
hear
that
him
to
back
him.
there. We still
You guys
see
can hear him. I can't hear him. That's the only thing.
Yeah, you
so.
can't hear him. We can.
Spooky,
That's
it's in the
okay.
private
Everybody
chat.
in the chat. By the way, let me do that. I didn't even give. See, guys, it's been so long since I've gone live on here. Excuse me. I apologize. Carol XO. It doesn't show it on here, but I know she was the first one because she asked if she gets bacon to be in first place. And I told her, I said, you deserve more than bacon. You get that thick cut hickory bacon.
Ooh.
That's the kind of bacon you get. Tammy Finnegan, thank you for joining us tonight. Champ Campbell says party, party, party. Josh Casey with Trippy Times. Keep an eye out, guys. New podcast coming all your way. Gary Voorhees Jr. What's happening, brother? He says he will be hanging out with us tonight. Off and on, working a new website. Heck yeah. And guys, welcome to the show for the first time. I think actually first time ever. Correct me if I'm wrong, on the garage. Spooky, this is your first time, right?
It is my first time. Check it out.
Oh, look at that. Oh, my God.
Spooky.
Why do you guys even have my... Oh, my God. So
my
it
first
blows my
time, too.
mind. That's
What am I
true.
getting
For
Yeah.
Amanda,
Yeah.
Papa Willy might have been on here with maybe been in the background.
It's been rumored.
That's been... let's see, who else? Let me get through the shout-outs really quick. Mr. Crowley. Oh, we got Mr. Crowley up in here, guys. Let's see who else. Zero Cool is joining us, as well as, let's see, make sure I didn't miss anybody. The Chad Smith podcast. Oh, look at that. Never heard of that. Have you anybody guys heard of that guy? Does anybody know Chad
Oh,
Smith?
he's a hacker. Get him out of here.
Rainy Cruz, thank you for hanging out in here tonight. Ooh, here's this is a new one for me. Does anybody know Ghost Dragon ZW?
Ghost Dragon.
Does anybody know
I
that
don't
one?
think
Coming
so.
from one of your guys' podcasts, maybe? Double Tim, thank you for being here tonight. Let's see. Michigan UFO sightings and paranormal encounters. What's up, Wayne? How's it going tonight? Wes H. in here hanging out. Man, there's a couple of people in here. Paradox Fossils. What's shaking? Eddie Haskell. By the way, great interview with the Chad Smith podcast. You guys did a great job over there. I'm still working through that one. Oh my God, we got to get this person out of here. Melissa Nicole says, "Yo, Big Willy." Hey, that person is a known stalker, a known vehicular thief who tries to steal your vehicles. I just want you guys to know. Let's see. Sweetly Morbid Bear, thank you for being here tonight. Can you guys all still hear me or no? Maybe. Oh, you might be saying goodbye on the other end. That's okay.
Yeah, we're saying
All
goodbye
right.
on the other end. Sorry, buddy.
No, you guys are good. You're good. Andrew Gnomes and Trucking Express, thank you for also being in here tonight. And we're gonna get it going. So, UFO dude, oh, I forgot about you too. I'm so sorry because you were in here earlier. What's up, guys? Matter of fact, here, I forgot. I can completely do this. Purgatory Paranormal of New York. I believe that's where you're from. If you are from New York, thank you for hopping in here tonight. That's a ways out. Let's see. Tammy says, who's the thief? It is Melissa. It is Melissa right here, this one. She will try to steal your whatever vehicular vehicle that you drive. Watch out. Watch out. I'll tell you right now. By the way, guys, you can support the show at UFOGaragePodcast.com, where they say stay excellent. Also, Super Chat is open if you want to support the boys here in the garage. Over here at the garage, if anybody want to make any Super Chats, they can do that here in the garage. And you can also get yourself some awesome swag, like Spooky himself and Sonny are wearing. Unfortunately, there's a big ugly bald guy in that picture, but you can get that where it says stay curious and keep it weird.
You talking about me?
We should Sonny, think about that. We should get maybe Ben to make that. Get like a one that just says Papa Willy, like sitting in the background with like the shades on, like the Matrix, you know?
That would be cool.
Larry A. Hey, brother, what's happening? Good job tonight, by the way, hopping on there, even if you were flexing on all of us with no shirt on there. All right, guys. So, first of all, Sonny, let's do this really quick because there's no plan, guys. We're just having a nice, I guess, we've done this so many times where we weren't live. We're just hanging out in the back and watching other shows while talking about it. And we always have a great time. So, that's kind of what we're going to do tonight. And we'll reschedule with Ron. Like I said, it'll be my luck. He's going to hit us up in like maybe a half hour and be like, oh, I thought we had this time. So who knows?
10 minutes before ending.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 minutes before we're ready to go over to Spaced Out Radio. And that's when it would end. Oh, Mr. Crowley, thank you for that very, very much. He says, my drunk enunciation has ruined you, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, it happens. Oh, this is a new one. Welcome to the chat. Does anybody know Sibley Siley? Oh, man, I can't read, apparently. Anybody know her?
Is it Sybil? I don't think so.
Well, welcome. Welcome to the garage. Thank you for sharing. Hopefully you hit that like button, ring that bell, and subscribe. That would really help it out. And guys, by the way, that's one thing I want to mention really quick. If you guys think anyone would be interested in this, please share the podcast. It helps so much more than you guys know. That's how we found a lot of our favorite podcasts. They're just from people sharing in the community. And there's a great community. All three of the podcasts here, plus SOR, so really 4, that we all get to hang out quite a bit throughout the week, and it helps that way. Why? Welcome to the chat as well. So, Sonny, let's do this really quick then. Let's get this out of the way for people probably like, what the French shows is going on? This is Paranormal Chop Shop Night. Alien Girl, welcome to the chat. Thank you for hanging out here tonight. So we're getting this figured out, right? Like you guys normally run Friday nights, and we're gonna get some stuff figured out. I'm gonna talk to Ben and Joe later tonight. And I'm probably going to have to move Saturdays somewhere because I'll be doing SOR stuff Saturday through Sunday. So you guys might be staying on Fridays, or who knows, honestly. All we know is that we're not kicking each other off. That's not happening. So, Sonny, I don't know if you want to add anything else to that besides, I mean, he's got a guy that sits out the front door in a van who's been watching me in a big black SUV. So I don't think I'm allowed to come over to Friday nights anymore. Let's see.
See what happens? We call Jim Goodall. We put Jim Goodall on the case.
Hey, let's bring that up really quick. For those in the chat, by the way, if you guys have not looked up the Mojave Desert incident, I would strongly encourage you guys to look it up so that when we do have Ron on here, a lot of what he's going to talk about will make sense. He did a great episode not that long ago with Dave Scott on SOR. And that is a great episode you guys can dig into. Excuse me. They would familiarize you with it quite a bit. To me, it is a fascinating case. Has anybody in the chat here? I guess we're just going to do a roundtable tonight. Amanda or Papa Willy, have you guys heard of the Mojave incident at all?
I have not. Isn't it to do with aliens? Alien abduction?
It is. It definitely.
I just looked it up a little bit right now. I didn't know what you meant, but I will definitely research.
Lynn, welcome to the chat. What about yourself, Sonny or Chad? Have either of you heard of the case in of itself?
Nope. I have not actually, man. I was just looking it up too. I was like, I gotta hurry up and figure out what this is.
No
1989 though, that was a good year. Damn good year.
Good year. 1989. What about yourself, Sonny? Are you familiar with the case or no?
No.
No,
It says
that's
it's a
okay.
chilling story.
It is. No, it really. I mean,
Very scary story.
it really is. Now, Spooky, you looked familiar. Have you at least heard the case in the passing, or was SOR the first time you had come across it? Oh, hang on, Spooky. I think you might be muted.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
There
Yep,
we
now
go.
we can.
Now we
Can you hear
got
me
you.
now? Yeah, I never heard of it before. It's the first time I've heard of it.
Oh, tonight was the first time you'd heard of it, or when you heard it on SOR?
No, just tonight.
Oh, I got you. Man, so it would have been a really good one for you. Like, this would have been a good time, because it's, man, I guess I don't want to go into too much. By the way, the Lazarus Project, welcome. FAP, welcome. 1989, cursed that year. Well, apparently it wasn't a good time for FAP.
I'm gonna have to switch accounts, dude. I don't have a wrench with my Chad Smith podcast account.
What?
Yep, gonna have to
Then
switch
Lizzie
over.
Borden says, I call my hubby's birth the Mojave incident. Oh, my. Man, the Mojave incident, that's...
Well, damn.
right? Everybody else, you're done. Give it up. I mean, there's no chance now. So I guess what we'll do then, guys, is since we don't have, I don't want to ruin that particular story for him, and since we don't have a lot of familiarity with it on the board here, we'll just move into some other fun stuff, I guess. Really quick, by the way, Carol XO, thank you. Says, hello, Big Willy. How's it going tonight, Carol? I don't know if you got the grandbabies tonight or not. I haven't checked on it if it's a full moon or not, but we know if it is, you'll be busy later, so good luck with all your activities and festivities that way in the moon. Hopefully it is a good night for you out there in the west.
Full moon's the 18th.
Okay, so we're rolling up on it.
Yeah.
All right, so, well, really quick then, if you guys, I have some ideas I'd like to go with perhaps, but since we're just doing a nice round table, first of all, Amanda, how's your night going? Are you excited to be in the chop shop?
Pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. I wasn't going to come tonight because I have work really early, but then Sonny sent me a link to another show and it got me in the mood and I was like, I'm coming. I gotta come.
He was watching that one time I was abducted by aliens with Bree and Jamie.
Oh, with butt stuff.
She messaged me
Yeah.
back. She
Oh,
goes,
you were
"Can I
there,
still
yeah.
go?"
I
Yeah,
said
the butt
bye
stuff.
to you, remember? You were on there too.
Oh, that's right. That is right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't realize that was your account, I guess. I don't know why. Is it Amanda on there, or do you have a different name?
No, it's Moonstruck.
That's why I didn't recognize it. Okay, I do remember that. I was gonna say, I didn't remember anybody named Amanda saying goodbye.
Yeah. I had my name up there at first, and I'm like, everybody else has different, and I just probably shouldn't have my full blasted first, middle, and last legal name on YouTube, just in case.
Oh. Yeah.
Didn't somebody put their ID on there just not too long ago?
Yeah. Yeah, Ben
did.
was able to throw up his entire driver's license for anybody who was interested.
And everybody do a reaction. Oh, that was what
Yeah,
he did.
Pretty much.
Oh, you guys didn't see that.
I still don't know how he. Okay, Ben, I love you to death, but like, why was your entire driver's license just chilling on one of your tabs on your?
Man,
I don't get
I
it.
just had to put mine on there like yesterday for something, so I know why it was on there.
Oh, it was an accident?
It was 100% an accident.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I know why it was on there now.
It was the only worst that could have gone was Social Security card.
Well, I'll tell you
We'll
what
add it
then.
later on our show.
I've
We're
seen
gonna pull out.
I've seen people do that before. My personal Facebook friends, there was a meme that said, drop your Social Security number, and they did it like an idiot.
Oh no. Well, I mean, if you're that dumb,
Oh, no. Yeah.
So
pretty dumb.
stupidity.
let's dive into this for a minute then, if you guys are up for it. Since we don't have a game plan now for tonight, literally no plan at all over here. Zero. We just coming here from a mission on God. And,
0.0.
Raw and uncut.
raw and uncut. Speaking of that, I don't know if Sonny can talk about his festivities today, but man, you had like quite the little party going on over at your place, huh?
Man, Jim Goodall stays here. And
all kinds of
Boom!
shit.
Men in black everywhere. 2 weeks later, dude, I don't know. Really, there was police everywhere. I sent
What?
you pictures. There was police
Yeah.
in every row of these orchards with dogs.
This is my
looking
first
for
time
a
hearing
missing-
that.
I found out a little bit about that too. So
They were looking for a missing woman, and yeah, we dug around. We know what happened to her, but it's not a
You
it's
dug
not a
around.
good story
Oh.
to tell on here, maybe. But
We're going dark sided.
yeah, it was out there.
oh, did they find her?
Uh-oh.
No, I haven't found her yet,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah,
Ugh.
But
It
they
was
found
an
the
illegal
room,
alien
the house.
abduction.
yeah. I thought she was abducted, but she wasn't.
No. Gory scene.
That-
Yeah, it was bad.
Crowley.
Welcome to
But
the
they are still looking
show.
for her. So
Yeah.
huh.
But yes, when I went out back, the dogs were barking, and there was just police all around the house. I was like, "Get them, dogs! I'm gonna run this way. You go that way."
Like
Oh,
almost all the
man.
way down to my house.
Yeah.
Sonny, get your dogs out of here.
He's like, it's the feds for talking about UFOs.
Yep. I thought they were here to get me. It's like,
No,
dude,
okay. What about that for a fun topic? Have you guys and Ben and Joe, I believe, way back, it wasn't intentional. Like their episodes from back in the day are so vintage because there was never any plan, kind of like we're doing tonight, and then they would end up on a deep dive. I don't think they ever specifically named an episode like Men in Black, but they did have one where they kind of covered some of that. So for you guys, what's your take, I guess, let's say Papa Williams and Amanda, let's start with the two of you, on Men in Black? Is that something you've always known, that term, or was it just because of the movie back in the day? What was your introduction to the idea of Men in Black?
I've always known it. I have an uncle that was hospitalized, institutionalized by the Men in Black.
Wow.
Oh. It's the first time I heard that, I think.
No.
First time I remembered hearing it.
that's who ran him off the road.
For me, I just
Oh.
the first of course was the movie because I was young. But then
Okay.
after that, I've seen a bunch of videos on it and stuff, and it's definitely something to recognize and talk about. Something to say that it could be very true because there's a lot of things that when the Men in Black show up, especially on video, it's like there's no way to explain that besides you're up to something.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about yourself, Chad and Sonny? Have you guys, what was your, and I guess we'll start with Sonny there, what was your first introduction to the Men in Black?
That's the same as Papa Willie's back here. It's his uncle has always told us that that's who ran him off the road, tried to kill him. And then,
Do you mind if I ask what that was in regards to? What was the reasoning for the encounter, I
He used
guess?
to work at
they're gonna take us.
You're gonna shut us down.
Lockheed
Yeah.
Martin. There, we just said it. Yep.
Oh, boy. Oh, there goes the channel. It was nice talking to you guys.
Forever.
Yeah.
Bandwidth's going to slowly start fading.
and then either the stress from the job made him lose his mind, or
But he
some
was in a
information got leaked that he was
doing something he
had,
shouldn't have been doing.
and
But
stuff started happening to him.
he transported documents from one place to another, from LA to San Francisco, and he was ran off the road.
And he ended up spending the rest of his life in a mental institution after that, right?
Oh,
And
jeez.
his
Wow.
girlfriend that was in the car with him at the time had the same story as he did until somebody came and talked to her and told her something. And she said, no, that's not what happened. Changed her story
So
completely.
we know he worked there. I mean, it's not like we didn't know.
Yeah. I'm
We
just
knew,
saying
we
that
all knew,
in the
yeah.
beginning, she said that somebody came up and ran them off the road and did that to them intentionally as well. And then after amount of time, then her story changed to no,
He freaked out. and
it
tried to
didn't
kill
happen.
us.
Yeah, he freaked out and did it to us. Even though for the first couple months, she was like, yes, somebody came and tried to kill us.
The story we got was like just like on TV. Car goes to the front, car goes behind him, and then somebody comes up beside him and pushes him off the road.
Wow. That's
creepy.
I mean,
And
that's the
that
kind
was,
of stuff that you hear about,
Back in
though.
the
70s.
early 70s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Tammy, that stuff happens.
I don't
I
know.
thought it was late 60s.
Might have been late 60s.
Yeah, I think it was
but
late
right,
60s.
that's the time frame.
But his deal was, it was Men in Black that came to handle that situation.
Man,
Wow.
that is sus.
Yeah,
For sure. Especially since they tried to
This is
discredit
interesting.
him and put him in a mental institution for the rest of his life. That was it. That one incident, and then he was put away for the rest of his life.
Don't you think,
Just
Big
the only
Willy?
time
Isn't that
he'd
kind of
come out
sus?
was to come
That
see
is
his
very sus.
family.
I'll take a sip for that. It's extremely sus all around. I'll put it that way. Did anybody see that though with Connor over here, Bigfoot, and oh my gosh, every time I do this, why can't I say this word right now? Anon?
Bigfoot Anon, I think. Yeah.
It is Anon? Okay. I know his
Anon?
name's Connor. And maybe it is
Anon.
Anon. He says, good to see you, Big Willy. Dogman Cams has a werewolf named Big Willy.
Whoa.
Wow.
Now,
Is that what you're doing when
Coincidence?
you're not
I
on
don't
camera?
Right?
that's my side hustle.
That's where he's at. You guys can find him over there when you can't find him here.
It's a new cryptid that they're discovering out there. It's really sneaky. It just pops up on the camera and disappears. Now, Chad, what has been your, and we're going to come back to this because I wouldn't mind if you guys, if everybody's up for it in the chat. This is the new cryptid that's been seen out there. Perhaps is this one right here that Ghost Dragon Z talks about. One Eye Willy. It's been making its appearances in the woods.
Wow. That's a...
Really?
You gotta stay away from that one if you ever run into
Yeah.
that out there.
I'll tell you what.
France makes puddles.
Man, we're staying so focused. We're doing so good, guys.
So my
I would-
first encounter with Men in Black was, of course, the movies because,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Youngsters.
We're that age.
I'm a
We're-
youngster,
we're, like by
apparently.
the time,
So yeah,
We're
I actually thought that, you know, the first time I heard Men in Black was from the movies. So then when I started getting into UFOs and all things weird,
paranormal.
I just thought people were referring to these spies and government agents as Men in
CIA.
Black from the movie. Like I didn't realize that the movie was named for, you know, for them or
Based off of
after
someone
them.
real.
Yeah, I didn't realize it
Yeah.
was based off of a real group. So yeah, I kind of got those a little mixed up and backwards.
I've
but good
actually
movies.
seen, the best part of the movie where they do the flash thing that makes
The flashy
makes you
thing?
forget everything.
Yeah.
That little thing that they flash and then it makes you forget everything. There's a video out there of some girl that happened to. She's sitting at her desk and some guy comes in there with a gun and does all this weird stuff while she's in there, puts some kind of paper in one of her files and then flashes something right in front of her face, and she's talking to the news and saying, I can't remember anything. I don't know what happened, but they did catch it on camera. And he had disabled several other cameras in that building that day, but didn't know that there was one like hidden behind her desk that caught it all on camera.
Damn.
Wow.
So that supposed gadget that they have in that movie, which is my favorite part, they are supposed to really have something like that.
Will Smith even calls it the flashy thing. Flashy
Really?
flashy face thing
Jojo
or whatever he
Bone.
calls it. It's funny.
Jojo.
Or you're just
Jojo
making-
Bone.
By the way, congrats, brother. I see you over there. I should invite you to. I got a page we started quite a while ago for like people that are like losing weight and stuff, because it's never some quick easy thing, man. It's a journey. So I seen you've been losing weight. Congratulations. I'll have to send you an invite to that page over there for sure. Congrats on that, because losing weight, man. I'll tell you what, it's a
big
journey. It's a
deal.
process for sure.
Definitely a big deal.
No, I guess Spooky, we cannot forget about Spooky Morales here. What was your introduction to the Men in Black, I guess? What was the first time you came across it?
Well, just that when I was younger, I got interested in the UFO topic and abductions and things. I would mostly just read a lot of books. That was even before there was the internet. So you'd have to read books if you wanted to learn more. And Men in Black always were associated with abductions, or anytime someone would call the police or the military that they had seen a UFO sighting. It was just known that the Men in Black would show up at your house. They would investigate you. Then there was a whole bunch of other, wild claims that people would make that the Men in Black did. Sometimes they would even say that the Men in Black weren't even real humans, that they were aliens themselves. So it's just, and just that they've always been associated. And then show like X-Files took it on, and that
Hmm.
Men in Black kind of took a whole new meaning then.
Now, what are you guys' thoughts on that, I guess? What are your thoughts? And maybe we'll start with Chad on this one first, since we're doing like a little round table tonight. What are your thoughts on, and you bring up a great point here, Spooky, with, the X-Files. A lot of people have introduction, like, yourself, Amanda, and Chad, with the movie being your first introduction. So we could say that mainstream media or mainstream entertainment was your gateway drug to some of this.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that, far as, is there a program that's unofficially in place that's been the slow disclosure over time to make people comfortable with ideas? And if I could add on to that a little bit while you gave your answer, is, do you think that that's a good thing, or is that a controlled narrative that's taking place? And I guess we'll start with Amanda first, I guess, on this one.
I think they're trying to control it. They want to make you think that it's all about what the movies are about. And in case anybody sees anything like that, we've already been desensitized to it. So, it's just like a movie. Like they do with everything else,
It seems like they first put it out there as a far-fetched joke.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of reel it in from there. And all of a sudden it's been going on the whole time.
Yeah. I definitely think it's desensitizing. Desensitizing.
It's like it's part of the whole misinformation part of the whole thing. They kind of mix the Men in Black to cloud a lot of the sightings and abductions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what about
Just
for
like
you?
the ones when they release all this UFO things. I think they're releasing this much so that you don't look at all the rest of the stuff that's going on over here.
Mm-hmm.
They'll show you just this little bit in the media so that you think it's not bad or anything like that, and not pay attention to all the stuff that's going on around here.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the eye's view.
I got
Yeah,
you.
looking more into this topic now. Like I used to kind of believe that it was more like they were just desensitizing us to, like maybe showing us ridiculous aliens, and then trying to get us into that mindset, like, oh, okay, there's like crazy stuff going on. And then when we find out that nothing is that crazy, maybe it's just a little less than that, then we'd be a little bit more desensitized to it.
Yeah,
But,
they're trying to make it look really, really bad so that when the real stuff comes out, it's not as bad as what you've already seen.
Right. Yep.
Now, Sonny, what do you think about that in regards to, let's say, mainstream media, movies, whatever, art, music, any of it, being this slow disclosure? I guess, for instance, for an example, since you had Jim Goodall on not that long ago here, let's use Area 51 as an example. Now, you might be right on the cusp. I'm not quite sure. You're about the same age as us, Sonny, so who knows there. But you're real close to like the idea of growing up. You might have been the last generation that thought Area 51 was just a rumor, right? It was, when you were, let's say, 10-year-old kid, was Area 51 something that was very plausible, or was that just rumored from TV shows?
I didn't hear about that till I was
Now, when did it happen?
almost 30.
Wait,
30?
or
Okay.
Yeah.
When did it start? When did it start being a big deal?
You never
Around
heard
what
of
year?
Roswell and all that?
Yeah.
No, because I never paid attention to any of this stuff. I didn't pay attention to none of this stuff until I seen that thing above my house. That was
Okay.
Oh, so just recently you've got.
So I guess let's go to Papa Willy on this then. Papa Willy, had you heard of the rumors of Area 51, let's say, throughout the 90s?
I don't remember hearing area. Oh yeah, through the 90s I did. Through the high school, like when I got into high school and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. But it was
Even when I
considered...
young, like I always watched Ancient Aliens and whatever it was called way back then.
Paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
You were always
I
into it.
always liked watching the shows and whatnot. I didn't necessarily believe them. I didn't really believe all the weird stuff until I started seeing it myself.
Right. What was it when we saw that thing?
Hi,
Was it
Sarah.
the first time?
Yes.
Hi,
And-
Sarah. Hi, Amber.
And my NDE shortly before.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Wait, that was before?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because I guess that's kind of my thought behind that just a little bit, is that growing up, there was a time, I feel like I was right in that cutoff when I started getting into like movies or remembering paying attention to it, say late 90s, where for me, the idea of Area 51 wasn't crazy. It was like it was just kind of coming out. But for sure, like our kids, anybody born 2000 on, Area 51 is a known fact at this point.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I don't think they
Everybody
really
knows about it now.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously that's the big one, I guess you could say. But I guess my question behind that is deeper, to go to more detail on this, is that within Hollywood or within the mainstream media, or as was brought up earlier, the television programming, what is there multiple forces at work here to control a narrative? Is there a positive side to this, do you guys think? And maybe we'll start with Spooky here, but do you think that there is a positive side to some of this, or do you think that it is a balance of both the negative and the positive?
You know, Big Willy, I was involved in the chat, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay. No. Hey, I'd rather you know the question than to fake it. All I'm asking, that's okay, guys. That's a lot with like. Thank you for everybody who's hanging out in the chat, by the way, tonight.
I had to explain my background.
Oh, that's okay. I know. Melissa over there, she tries. Careful, she'll be sending you pictures eventually of like her face on that sculpture back there, and be like, I'm the new art. I'm moving in.
Yeah, those are really cool sculptures back there. I was looking at them too.
They are very cool. But the question essentially being, with the narrative that's being kind of slowly disclosed or pushed throughout the mainstream media, do you think there are multiple forces at work? And is it both a positive and a negative, or is it strictly one or the other in your opinion?
Well, I think that the government knows a billion times more than they've let us know. Disclosure is something that has been happening since the beginning of this wave of humanity on this planet. I mean, I believe that it was something that has been predestined since the beginning. Disclosure is not something that's going to just happen where a UFO is going to land on the White House lawn. It's something that's just been constantly happening. It's all for that awakening of the consciousness. And the more we are learning, we're learning at a faster pace right now than we have in decades and decades and decades. And now we're starting to see so much more examples of sightings, of people coming out and being more comfortable to tell their stories. And it's just all part of it. The consciousness is opening at a faster rate, and we're just going to see more and more and more of these things happen. And is the narrative being controlled? Absolutely. They're not going to give us, in my opinion, they're not going to give us anything that we want, because it's not in their best interest to do that. It's only in their best interest to keep us from knowing more.
Well, let's go a little further with that with Chad here. Chad, what is your opinion on, I love it, what is your opinion on why this narrative is being controlled? I mean, Spooky just did a great job giving an example there, but in your perspective, somebody who you have self-proclaimed, and I don't want to speak for you, so if I misspeak here, please correct me. You said you're relatively new to some of this, right? Like this wasn't something that you've always been into. This is just all of a sudden you got really drawn to it in the past year or two?
Yeah, I've kind of just always been into the unexplained and the unsolved mysteries and all that stuff, but it was just been recently, last year or so, that I've been kind of pulled into this whole community, which has been the best thing that I've ever been involved with. Everyone in this community is really awesome, and everyone in the chat, you guys are awesome. And but yeah, I think the reason why they are trying to control the narrative is because I think if people find out how much more spiritual it is and how much more metaphysical it really is, and how much it's not exactly a nuts and bolts thing like everyone thinks it is. Yeah. It's more spiritual. And I think
I agree.
If people find that out, it might just, I don't know, it's going to open up people's minds enough to think for themselves.
Yeah, and then it's us against them.
Yep. Yeah, and thinking for yourselves is not what they're a fan of.
Yeah.
No, for
I
you,
just really got into this
Go
too. I've always been into conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but this whole podcasting and everything like that, it's definitely opened my eyes to a lot more. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love being a part of this. It's awesome.
Chad Smith is the alien. You know, we've often discussed this. When Chad first hit the scene, there was a period in time where I said he might be Men in Black. He shows up. Look at this non-conspicuous face right here.
Always
I
black
don't know,
shirt.
guys.
Always black hat.
I would never do that to you guys.
He's all with this little flashy thing.
You're awesome, man.
Well, let's do this then, guys. Let's switch gears a little bit. Since we're at the top of the hour here. Let's roll into another really fun subject. As much as I love the Men in Black and the UFO topic as a whole, what are your thoughts and or feelings?
I'm getting an echo.
I hear that.
I'm getting a little bit of echo from Sonny over there. Sonny, the Paranormal Chop Shop.
I don't know why that is.
That was weird all of a sudden.
What is your thoughts on cryptids? Since we do have Bigfoot, and I don't know if he's still in here or not, Connor, who does some great work with going out in the field, which I love. First of all, people go out and do field investigations. That's a huge thing. But Sonny, or I'm sorry, Chad, let's start with you here while we get Sonny situated. What are your thoughts with cryptids? Like, what are, again, going back to, let's say, the Men in Black, what was the first cryptid that you ever really heard of or had an interest in, if you even have an interest in cryptids?
Definitely Bigfoot. Bigfoot's always been kind of the
All right,
same.
well, he is no longer important. Spooky, since he went with a stand, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Keep going, Sonny. I'm sorry, Chad. Keep going.
You can't even remember my name.
That's why we don't hang out.
What's happening right now?
Bigfoot. Oh my gosh. I'm just kidding. No, Bigfoot is the big man on campus. I apologize.
Well,
I apologize.
Sasquatch or whatever you want to call him over there.
No,
Okay.
He's no. I wasn't offended with the name. I just, went with such a straightforure, boring answer,
it's just
such as
because
Bigfoot.
It's just because that's the first one that I heard of when I was a kid. Bigfoot was always up there with UFOs. They were like right there. I was looking up the same. I was always looking up either one or the other, and I never really got into the other cryptids until just recently. To be honest with you, there's a lot of them I haven't heard of.
Well,
Like
have you ever heard of
Michigan.
the Sam Squatch?
I've heard of the Sam Squamps, yep. The Sam Squamps up there in British Columbia up there.
He's a smelly bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You gotta watch out for that one. He'll steal your food and all your stuff at your camp. But anyway, yeah, like the Michigan Dogman, I've never even heard of that until just recently, and I'm in Michigan, as you know.
Heck yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff I haven't heard of before.
Well, so let's go to, let's go to Papa Willy and Amanda over there. Let's see, first of all, if it's working for you guys now. What was the first cryptid for you, Papa Willy, that, again, I understand, and it's totally fine if it's Bigfoot, because he is kind of the big man on campus, as it were, in the cryptid world. But for you, what was the first cryptid? And did you know that there were so many, or was it just the Bigfoot? Was that all you knew about?
I need a little more specification on what a cryptid is.
You need more specification, you said?
Yeah, I don't really know what a cryptid is.
Yeah, so essentially, I mean, and I'm going to murder this definition, but it's all it is a unidentified species, right? So if it's a cryptid, like there's a whole field of actual study that people have, cryptozoology, and their purpose is to study or prove the existence of an animal that doesn't quite exist yet. And there's people who do this around the world. There are a lot of times, I believe on average, there's, I don't want to say it's thousands, but there are hundreds of new species being discovered every year, whether it be some sort of a special cat that's hidden in the mountains that we didn't know about, or a lizard. It could be anything. So most that are truly trying to bring forth evidence for Bigfoot would put him in that qualification of a cryptid, which is just a species that's not been yet scientifically identified and recognized. For example, you guys have there the California night walkers. Sonny, I'm sorry, what's the name of those little guys?
Fresno.
The Fresno. Sorry.
Our
We
city,
get the sorry aliens.
our city
I'm
has
sorry,
the night,
guys.
is specific for the night walkers.
Block Chick brings up an interesting hypothesis here, which is, can robots be cryptids? What do you think about that, Sonny?
Oh, no,
I don't think so, because it's man-made.
not yet.
Yeah, it's not like a metaphysical. Does it have to be like a metaphysical type thing to be a cryptid?
Doesn't
After Elon Musk gets a hold
It's
of them,
unknown.
some chips in their brains.
Something
that might be
unknown.
able
Oh, so like more than species of animals that haven't been discovered.
Yeah.
You're talking like ghosts and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've pretty much always believed in ghosts
Well, what was your first, like, that you've come across that you knew about, like Bigfoot or Mothman or
I used to
anything like that?
When I was a kid, I used to see somebody in the hallway that wasn't actually there.
Yeah. So my first one is, it's funny because the school that I went to was predominantly Hispanic. And so the first one I knew about was honestly the Chupacabra.
Oh,
like,
the Chupacabra.
When I was a kid, that used to scare the shit out of me. Like, because all the kids would be talking about it all the time. And so that was the first one I ever heard of.
Same.
Now,
Or
okay,
the
so as I say,
Wendigo too.
okay, that's switching gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're all a little terrifying. I mean, for Spooky, for yourself, let's go ahead and get your answer on this. What was your first big one? And I swear to God, if you say Bigfoot, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love Bigfoot. But you're gonna think I hate Bigfoot. I don't. I freaking love Bigfoot. I really do.
Yeah, we're gonna have a talk after this.
We're gonna have a talk.
Spooky.
Right? Do you believe in Bigfoot?
I was gonna propose a new T-shirt.
Oh,
Chad Squatch.
Chad Squatch.
The Chad Squatch.
Right.
It's just my logo with my glasses on.
Nah, Big Willy. I'm like Amanda over here in California. You know, we heard a lot about the Chupacabra.
Yeah.
Especially down here where I live on the border. We're pretty close to the border.
okay.
So we hear all the time. We heard about that from multiple generations of our ancestors talk about the Chupacabra. But lately, I've been, as I look more at that stuff that they report that comes out of Skinwalker.
Oh yeah.
I kind of sometimes wonder if maybe that, the dog man, might be confused with the Chupacabra.
Like the same deal. Yeah, me too. Or a lot of the different cryptids could be a lot of the same thing that people are just seeing and describing differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's been one thing I've been curious about. Oh man, dang it! I don't know why it's getting. Is that just me?
Sonny, I think your mic might be too. Is your mic too close to a speaker?
I'm sorry, Sonny. I don't know why that's happening, brother. A really interesting thing about we'll try it out again. Go ahead, Sonny, whenever you want. A really interesting thing about the Chupacabra is it's not as I thought it was like one of those kind of old ancient legends, and from my very novice understanding of them, it's not as old as one would think. The Chupacabra didn't really hit the scene until about the 90s.
Really?
And I've often wondered if, and I see Spooky look. Somebody Google this. I'm pretty sure.
95.
1995. Okay.
Puerto Rico in
Really?
95.
Maybe that's why I heard so much about it, is because that's like right around the time that I would have been in middle school or grade school.
Well, what I've wondered,
everyone was freaked out about it really bad when I was a kid. And
you know what? It does say sightings have been reported in Puerto Rico since 1970.
Yeah, that's what I was to say. Is from the United States, I think it was like 1995, right? In Mexico or Lower California area.
It says that was the first reported attack was in March of 95 in Puerto Rico.
Okay. And what I've wondered a little bit is because so with Dogman dates back kind of like even with Bigfoot, we could say centuries even, especially within North America. But even there's been sightings in the Himalayas and stuff of like Yetis and things of that nature. But specifically with Dogman, which is separate from a werewolf. I didn't know there was a differentiation between those two for a long time. I thought it was just, kind of like a synonymous thing, and it's not. They're two very different things. But with the Dogman, there was a military study on this or released document that came out that wasn't supposed to. It was talking about some routes, they were supposed to be running a what do you call that? Like a live field test. There's a term for this. It's slipping my mind. But they were doing this in Puerto Rico, and that was when they had these encounters with these Dogman-like creatures, who they said had almost like armor on them, like a blue armor. And then not long after that, and I think that was in 93 or 92, something like that, then you have this encounter in, I believe, was it New Mexico or where it was? Where'd you say it was, Chad, for the 1995 encounter with the
Puerto
Chupacabra?
Rico?
Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is there a possibility it could have been the military getting in and editing some DNA, like literally doing some Wolverine type stuff to a creature that would be intelligent enough to think for itself, but literally using that DNA. Because with the Chupacabra just kind of popping up, at least in the States, I wonder how some of these cryptids, kind of like even with UFO sightings, some of the crafts are definitely ours. Could there have been military involvement to edit the DNA of some of these creatures that are being spotted? I mean, what do you think about that, I guess?
I'm
We'll make him
not
come
sure,
up with an
man.
answer.
Yeah, you're gonna make me come up with an answer now. I'll just,
Yeah.
Well, let's do this.
Are we still getting an echo or anything, or did I fix it? If not, I can go
I think
out
you're
and come
good
back
now,
in.
brother.
no, you fixed it. No, whatever that was.
So your question was that you think that the DNA has, or you're asking if the DNA has been changed. What was that again?
With the Chupacabra in particular, at least here in the States.
Yeah.
Because like Spooky said, it's been something that's happening in Puerto Rico in particular throughout, I believe, as early as the 70s, but I didn't even know it was that early. In the States, I don't think there had ever been a reported sighting prior to 1995
Okay.
compared to, let's say, like Bigfoot or Dogman that have been going on throughout
On
the
a long
American
time
native
and a lot of
culture.
sightings.
Yeah, it runs very deep in the heritage. Now, Spooky, you might be able to speak more to this. Do you have family in Puerto Rico or no? Or like originally?
No, man, my family's from Mexico.
From Mexico? Okay.
Mhm.
So was this a legend that you just knew as a young boy growing up about the Chupacabra?
All of the young people over here in Southern California, and especially the ones that are like first, second generation Mexican Americans, we all know the stories of Chupacabra. And also there's another famous fable in the Mexican culture about La Llorona.
Yeah.
You've probably heard about that.
I have
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, La Llorona is the crying lady, and they they think they made a movie about it probably about 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, it was pretty good actually.
I haven't got to see it, but I did see that.
Yeah, it was good. And then back to the Chupacabra. Yeah, I mean everybody knows about it. It's just fable in Mexican history. Especially, I was telling Eddie Haskell right there in the chat that we've been hearing about it for years and years. Especially how it's kind of similar to the cattle mutilations that we hear about here in the States. About how people's livestock on the farms, they would get mutilated or killed or missing, and regularly you will hear stories about the Chupacabra. People will see it, and that it would look like kind of like a cross between a goat or a very large dog. And that's why I've always kind of thought that there might be some connection with the Dogman, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think too that they could be, like I was saying before, that people have different descriptions of them. So a few of the cryptids might be the same thing, like you were saying with the Chupacabra and the Dogman too. It could all be the same thing, and people are just seeing
like
different parts of it, or
even the thing like the creature that Eddie Haskell saw, he said that it was like an otter mixed with a German Shepherd, but it's still like the same size.
an otter.
An otter, yeah, mixed with a. I don't have the picture. I don't think I have it pulled up right now, but yeah, he said that he distinctively remembers the ears kind of looking like a German Shepherd. It reminded him of a German Shepherd head, but it was like on a otter's body. He said like the fur was more of like a sleek, smooth,
Like a
just
skin.
like an otter.
So yeah, even that could possibly be a form of the same type of deal.
Same type of form of something.
Yeah.
Like the same body type. It's not like it's the size of a T-Rex versus the size of an otter, but everything's kind of the same size in that category.
And it had ears. There's no kind of seal or sea lion or anything like that's got ears like that.
So
Yeah, and he said that stood out to him.
Huh.
It went out to the water, but he treated him in a field in like a
So
opening.
it was a land animal, or it could be both.
He said he was in that tree for 45 minutes, huh, Chad?
Was he close
Yeah.
to the water?
Yeah, he was close to the water.
He didn't think he was getting out of there.
He's been around that place too, especially then as a kid. He was all over there, and yeah, he never seen nothing like that. Big. Wow. It was big, like way bigger than an otter.
I pulled a picture up
with a German
Willy, if
Shepherd.
you want to pull it up.
Yeah, let me see if we got it backstage here.
Kinda.
Here we go, guys. Let's see if we can...
He said he couldn't find one of exactly what he found, but this is a close image to something that he saw.
It's like
he said this has like a cat head, to where what he's seen had like a German Shepherd head.
But definitely sea animal hands, paws. It's got the webbing.
The webbing on the feet, and then he said the reason why he liked this picture the most is because of that tail. He said the tail
got a
really.
dump truck back there.
Yeah, he does.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me a little bit different, obviously, but like a cross between like a Black Panther and a Wolverine, like something kind of crossed over that way, but with the webbing of the feet. That's
Wolverines are pretty
Eddie put it in the
crazy
chat too. What it's called, the Dobhar Roo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. I apologize, guys. I'm so out of practice. I've been slacking on the chat. Right here.
Yeah, he said he had to look it up, but that's what he found. It was called a Dobhar Roo.
Well, this is this is what's so fascinating to me when it comes to cryptids. The idea of cryptids is a lot of times there are these one-offs, right? We got like the big 5 to 8 that everybody knows of. You know, you got Bigfoot, obviously. You've got the Dogman. You've got Loch Ness Monster over in Ireland and Scotland area, or Ireland, I should say. And then you've got other people have argued, and I won't even try to get involved in this argument, why people care, why it gets political, I don't know. But some have argued stuff like vampires and other things of that nature being cryptids and werewolves. But a lot of times what can happen and why cryptids fascinate me is it could be a one-off like that. You could have something like thunderbirds have been reported to be seen a couple times by a couple different people, but then something like the Jersey, so thunderbirds, and this happens in Texas a lot. Not solely isolated to Texas, but essentially these massive birds, and I'm talking ridiculous, like 180 foot to 100 foot wingspans. Like no way this bird wouldn't be noticed.
That's insane.
Chad, I don't know if you wouldn't mind. I apologize. Do you think you could try to look up like a picture of a thunderbird?
Yeah.
I don't know who's calling, by the way. Somebody keeps calling my number like over and over here.
Oh no, you can take
so
it.
If somebody.
It was supposed to show.
Oh, what if it was? I haven't looked at my email in a little bit. They're probably like, hey, well, I sent them a link a while ago.
Oh my Lord.
All right, so we'll see if
I've never seen a thunderbird.
Dude, I didn't realize. Let me save a couple of these pictures and I'll pull them up.
Kick this from studio. Wait, I don't know if that... I think this should be okay. It shouldn't kick you, Chad. If it does, use the link to come back in. I'm trying to get rid of the picture you shared. Unless you're going to... Are you going to reshare to that same...
Oh, I can...
If you're going to reshare to that same one again, go ahead and leave it up there, and that way I can just switch them in and out. But yeah, guys, if anybody, by the way, has asked any questions in the chat, I do apologize. Can you give me just 1 second? Sonny, will you guys cover for me? I'm going to see who this is. This is like the 8th time they called in a row. So give me just 1 second.
Go ahead,
guys.
man. Could be
I
something.
apologize.
All right, man.
Something emergency,
Yeah, it could be something bad. Nobody's going to blame you for
something good. Maybe he's getting a raise.
Has everybody seen the skinwalker from Fresno? Or the, what's it called? Nightwalker?
Nightwalker?
Yeah, I saw a
Fresno
video.
Nightcrawler, right?
Yeah. There's 2 videos, right?
Those videos are so cool.
Yeah, they look crazy, all luminescent and like see-through a little bit.
I'm with Champ. He said it was
Oh my gosh, that's a pterodactyl.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
It sure does look like it, right?
That's a dinosaur.
Yeah, that looks like a dinosaur.
That can't
that's
be
supposed to be a
real,
Thunderbird?
man. Yeah, but that's obviously if that's real... Holy. It doesn't look like it's too dangerous as far as, it can't have too big of teeth. It's like a pelican, right?
Why you have to...
Sorry,
Man, let me grab this other picture too.
We're not muted.
No, we're not now.
There's nothing bad about that.
Is it me?
Man.
And
I wonder what it tasted like. You know, they ate that thing.
Right, they probably did, huh? Is that supposed to be dead?
That's a
It better
terrible.
be.
it's supposed to be. I'm guessing so.
Yeah.
Look at all the guns they got.
Let me see if he can pull up this picture while he's on the phone too.
I want to do my YouTube over here. If I can.
He's ordering a pizza.
Wow. Look at that.
Now that's what I thought he was talking about.
Wow, that's crazy. It looks like a big crow.
Oh,
a
that gives
raven.
me shivers, man. Imagine seeing that.
That raven rapping at your door.
Hey, Sonny, can you cover for me? I'll be right back.
Yep.
Sure.
Oh, that's where Big Willy left.
Okay,
There he is.
I'm back. Sorry,
Oh, that's
guys.
good.
That was 100% the guest.
It was the guest?
Oh, man.
But I told him, I was like, you're going to have to text me because it was like cutting out really bad. And I was like, I apologize that I'm live right now. So we'll get something set up for him again for
Another
sure.
time.
Yeah. I apologize, guys. I know I'd love to bring him in, but
No,
right now
it's
we don't have
okay.
enough time. And I don't want to cut off the people that have, doing
It's
this
okay.
tonight for us. But yes,
I mean,
this
if
is...
he wants us to, does he want us
No. We're doing this, and
Oh, okay.
there was some miscommunication. I don't know what it was. But we'll get it figured out, guys, and we'll 100% have him back on to cover
Yeah.
in depth the Mojave Desert incident because it is worth hearing for sure.
I'll be watching then for sure because I want to know about that.
Yeah. So
I've
now
never heard about that.
this could be again a fake picture. I gotta say, guys, this is just my own personal guess on this one.
Mm-hmm.
This might be fake. But who knows? I mean, that just seems so on the nose with the actual little
you ever seen that?
pterodactyl face.
Total pterodactyl.
Yeah.
But
All right, get that Mick Weston here.
The other
Oh,
one though
man.
looks like a large raven. It doesn't look the same as this
well,
guy.
I was gonna say, from my understanding, these birds, or the thunderbirds as they like to call them, are just massive birds. Essentially, they're not necessarily that I'm
Dinosaur.
aware of a dinosaur. But if they are, let's talk about that for a second. If not saying this picture in particular, but if there are these massive bird sightings, do you think that we're just crossing over? Like that there's a portal that's slipping time
Yeah.
where a dimension where they haven't gone extinct is still up and running?
I think
Could
there's a
be.
dimension somewhere that's like that with everything that's ever existed.
Everything. Every possible outcome.
And every now and then it just comes in.
Like a rift.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
what
it's
I'm
accidental.
convinced ghosts are too. You're just seeing something from another dimension that's going
Mhm.
on simultaneously while we're all coexisting together. And that's
Yeah.
future, past, and present. So yeah, dinosaurs could be from another dimension, even if they weren't. If they're extinct, even in that dimension, it could be from their past dimension.
Their planet hadn't been turned out of balance.
Could you imagine though? So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video or not of them using falcons to hunt, like obviously smaller deer and stuff. Only talking 60, 80 pound deer, but they'll go out and they'll just they'll go straight up, and they'll do I think it's just under 80 to 100 miles an hour nosedive into the spinal cord of the neck, and
Yeah.
they'll snap the spinal cord. But that's just oh, man, I don't know how big. Does anybody know off the top of their head how big a falcon might be?
Anybody know
Let's
what?
see.
About the size of a red-tailed hawk. They're not really.
They're not a
that
big bird.
8-10 pound bird maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not even
It
that.
says they're
got it.
6 inches long in the falconets to about 24 inches in the gerfalcon, an Arctic species.
What's crazy
Two
is they have a
thousand
top
miles
speed of 240 miles an hour when diving.
Wow.
240 with a wingspan of 1.5 feet.
I've always kind of been sketched
No.
out by birds altogether. I've had like several times where birds have like surrounded me and tried to attack. I'm not even kidding. Like if you stare at them and like be like, "What's up?" Like, what are you gonna do about it? They will come, and a whole flock of them have surrounded me before, of seagulls
no.
one time that were gonna try to attack us. I've never been a fan of birds.
They just
For
want
real,
food.
they're mean. I think.
Yeah, no, they're like literal dinosaurs. They're the
didn't
descendants
have
of the
food.
dinosaurs, man.
Time out of my calf.
We didn't have food. And they still were doing that to us. I don't like them.
All I know, I guess, is what I'm saying is if that bird can do that damage, imagine what a thunderbird could do if it wanted. If this is a real thing,
Yeah, that's crazy.
some people, I mean, let's be skeptical on it, guys. Let's go with Spooky on this. Spooky, what does your skeptical mind say about the Thunderbird? And again, guys, we're not doing this to be negative. We're just to have the pros and cons here. If there is a creature that's wingspan anywhere from 30 feet up to 80 feet, and we've heard even just ridiculous numbers like over 100 feet, why are we not seeing this? What would be, in your mind, the evidence? Like, where's the evidence on this? What do you think?
That sounds like some dinosaur age stuff for sure.
Yeah, I would.
I mean,
go ahead.
As far as how do they make it into this dimension that we're currently in? I mean, I agree with them what they're saying about the there's portals, there's different ways that these beings move in and out of dimensions for sure. I mean, a place like as close as to Sonny would be like Shasta Mountain. I mean, there's all different types of beings that are seen up there. There's just energy there like no other, like only a handful of places.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same with Skinwalker.
Very true. I would think too. I guess one of my big questions with a bird that big is that there's going to be droppings, you would think. And granted, even if it's out in like the wide open country, but that's the facts, right? Going from a practical standpoint, I mean, you'd have to say, where's that? And I don't ever do that to like. Listen, I don't want to go all Mick on you guys over here, but I do. The one thing I will respect about him is that he does try to eliminate the most plausible reasoning first, and that's totally fine. I think when someone eliminates the most practical answers first, that's a good place to start, because if a practical answer isn't coming to the top, well, then you have something to talk about. But if it ends up being something super practical, then we don't have anything to talk about here. So I suppose asking the question like, where's a nest, where are the cattle that are disappearing from this, where would be some droppings of it, and that's where, again, like with most of the cryptid stuff, and I suppose we could even say in regards to any of the phenomenon, a lot of people have assumed that this is some sort of a crossover between the dimensions. So let's see. Who did we miss? Sonny, I'm sorry, I haven't got you involved here in a little bit. Had you heard of anything like this giant bird or creature of anything?
I just know like in Texas everything is bigger, including their stories. So, you don't know. These old UFO garage around here. And then big birds and big fish stories. No, yeah, I've heard of it before, but I didn't know it was just in Texas. I thought it was like seen in a lot of places, not just there. And yeah, the bird that picture you pulled up with that big crow looking thing, that's more like what I thought it looked like.
Not so much pterodactyl-y.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the raven to
like
me
what you
looks
see
more
on the hood of a
real.
Trans Am.
Yeah, more with
Around Smokey and the Bandit.
Right?
Yeah,
with feathers. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange that the pterodactyl has no feathers. But it's a bird. Is it supposed to be considered a bird?
Bat dinosaur.
I don't know. All I know is that they are really pushing, guys, and forgive me, I don't remember the article on this, but I could have swore this just came across. I'm telling you, the last 2 weeks has been a blur.
That's understandable, dude.
I feel like I came across an article that was talking about, we all know how they said they're trying to grow dinosaurs again, right? I could have swore they had one, they said they just finished replicating a chicken, like a chicken dinosaur. So it was more raptor-ish than chicken anymore, even though it was still small. So it was like an angry little chihuahua, right? Birds, first of all, anybody who's ever had any experience with chickens or raised chickens knows that they're mean little buggers.
Yeah.
They don't care. Okay, you want a real scary one? Have you guys had any interaction? Perhaps Sonny out there, I don't know if they farm them or not, but emus. You guys had any interaction with emus at all?
Oh, a girl I went to school with used to raise them, and she we actually got to go out to her farm as kids from like a school field trip, and they're mean.
Mm-hmm.
They are not nice.
If they could kill you, and I think they could, they would.
Yeah.
they're so fast.
Oh man, they take you out.
There's one girl on TikTok that raises them.
Yeah.
And that thing will charge her. I mean, she has a good relationship with them and they don't ever actually do it. They'll charge her and ram their head into her head, but they look so mean. Like if she didn't have that personal relationship with them, or if one day they just decide they want to hurt her, they can. They are huge and they look mean and they are trying to rush her and like knock her out with their head
She
and
sticks her
peck her.
hands up and then they stop.
They stop. Yeah. But if she didn't know them, they could hurt her.
Just can't be scared.
So
I guess.
going back to like weird looking things, again in regards to like say cryptids and stuff, because that is the thing that I think I find most fascinating, because there's stuff like some of the old classic so this is great right here, you guys. By the way, you can get your dick pillows like the one behind me at www.ufogaragepodcast.com/shop.
Check that out, guys.
All of your needs.
Got Ben and Joe in the car.
Freaking love it. Yeah.
And it's a really nice pillow. I mean, this is
The amount of times you send me pictures cuddled up to that pillow too. Yeah, it's a little disconcerting.
You said you like them.
Dick side up too, guys. Dick side. I mean UFO side up.
Man. Oh man.
I love that pillow. You guys go get yourself a pillow. I'm gonna have that one on one side of the couch, and then Dave from Spaced Out Radio, he's got a really cool pillow too. I'm gonna get both pillows.
Not playing around.
Nope. Decorate my whole damn apartment with merch.
Yeah, so guys, there's a lot up there. There's koozies, there's all kinds of stuff. There's some like really slick tennis shoes if you guys want.
Get yourself a Chad Smith t-shirt.
Get yourself the Chad Smith, t-shirt for sure. Zero Cool, you might have to message Chad personally about that. I believe he charges for any and all further information. But you can reach out to him if you have any questions in that department. He is more than willing.
Sometimes you brush your teeth before you lay down. So,
Hey guys, I want to say real quick, I got a lot of people in here that came for the first time today to say what's up. They've never been to Paranormal Chop Shop either.
oh,
Hi,
well,
Butta.
welcome.
We got Amber and Sarah in here. Hey guys, and my hubby, Cap.
Hey, Cap,
no
what's up,
way.
man?
Yeah, Butter, Amanda,
Heck
Sarah.
yeah.
Thanks for listening. I posted it on
That's
Facebook,
cool.
and we got a lot of people come in tonight.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I was gonna say for anybody too that might be in here that's Tim F. What's up, brother? He did come. He came here tonight, guys, just for Chad.
That's
So
awesome.
in case anyone was wondering, Chad.
I love it.
By the way, Chad, I did send you a message if you get a chance. We'll switch gears. This is the last one I want to show, but when it comes to unforeseen things being out there,
Yeah.
the Jersey Devil may be the most unique cryptid. I don't know if you get a chance to Google this one, Chad, but the
I'm
Jersey
gonna have
Devil. We have to show the folks in the chat this, and then we're going to move on to... Actually, what we'll probably do is take a quick little 5-minute break for anybody that needs to use the bathroom, and we'll have the chat pick our next topic for us after the Jersey Devil here is shared. But yeah, cryptids, guys, it's usually a one-off kind of thing, and they're the most peculiar, strange-looking being you will ever see. It is truly something, is all I can say. And I don't know what somebody does when they see something like this. It always makes you curious. You know how we talk about people who have shared stories. What about the people who've seen stuff like this? What are you supposed to say? Because
Yeah, 'cause
who's
if
going
I
to believe
saw-
you at this point? Let's see.
Look at that guy
Here
right
we
there.
go. Look at this thing.
Look at that guy.
What is that, first of all?
Wow.
That's just a rat from New York. Get that off the screen. What are you
That
doing?
looks like a bald possum, kind of.
Look at his feet.
Look at his
It
tail.
looks like Ziggy.
Oh, his tail's weird too.
My
Yeah.
dog.
I don't think that's the actual Jersey Devil, but I have more questions about this one right here. I'm not going to lie.
It's definitely unexplained because I mean the tail plus those feet with the white nails. I mean, what
Does
is?
it look like they have webbed? He's got webbed feet or no?
Looks like you got fingers.
Just long little sausage fingers, huh?
He's a poor little guy. He needs. Yeah. What in the
I
world?
think him's cute.
Yeah.
Before you know it, he's gonna have an adoption.
I know,
family.
right? He kind of could be Chupacabra.
Gargoyle from the Ghostbusters.
I'm saving this picture and it's not saving. That's weird. Okay,
Someone
I'll
said
click
they
on
think
it.
it's just an ugly cat. I don't know about
Very well
that.
could
Looks like
be.
a cat to me.
Got weird-looking feet.
Yeah, those feet. It doesn't look like they got
Well,
paws. Like
From
paw
my
prints.
understanding, the Jersey Devil was quite a bit bigger than this. So this isn't. I'm not sure
I gotta
why
look
this
at
one
Jersey
popped
Devil.
up. But I love it
Jersey
because it has.
Devil.
Here, let's
That's
see what this one looks
That's
like.
a
Save
squirrel with
image.
mange. That's what that is.
I wouldn't want that running around in my backyard.
That's a squirrel with no hair.
Oh,
Someone-
the Jersey
I've skinned
Devil.
them suckers before. That's what they look like.
Shoot it.
Wow, the
Okay,
Jersey Devil
let's
just
see.
looks like the devil.
All right. So this is a little more closer to what. Look at the size of
man.
this thing.
What is that?
This is the supposed sighting of
No
the
way.
Jersey Devil.
This here.
I'd be
I'm
turning
trying
around
to
real
zoom
quick.
in. No, you're fine.
I don't
Very
know. That
good.
looks like CGI to me.
Yeah, well, most of these are like a replication of what was seen. So this thing, it's so ridiculous because it kind of looks like a sloth, but then it's got like this weird, almost moose face, but like with wings that look like they're all shredded up. I don't know.
I
Weird.
could maybe believe it if he was wearing a vest and had some fancy rings and shit on.
I freaking love these.
Running around without a lot of people noticing it.
Well, that's the thing with any of these. You shouldn't be able to. I mean, to be fair, Bigfoot shouldn't be able to be out there and not be seen, right? Wouldn't most say that that's.
This is bigger than Bigfoot. In that picture.
Yeah,
in
that
my
was-
mind.
Here's the one I was looking for. This is the one, Chad. This was the original drawing that was done up of a Jersey Devil. And if you've seen that, I don't know what you say to. I don't know. All I can ask is that someone else sees it with you.
Kick his legs out.
Seriously, what? I mean, there's no way he could handle a kick, right?
No, you can make him pretty legless pretty quick. It seems like. Snap,
And
snap.
if he's flying, they got to be like the hollow bones too, right? So that it's got to be able to just.
Mm-hmm.
So looks like Ziggy. With wings.
Don Bon Jovi says, "I would laugh in its face."
Yeah,
You're a braver soul than I am. I'm not gonna lie.
that's not that scary of a thing.
That's a giraffe
Don't have
chicken, Melissa
spiders
says.
or grabbers or nothing.
This
Right?
picture.
Oh, what about its teeth? We haven't seen its teeth yet.
It's got,
Looks like
Man,
a
the
horse
chat is
mouth,
fine
though.
tonight.
got square teeth.
Chompers, huh?
That's a weird looking.
That is.
I'm
That thing
thinking
does
he-
look weird,
He kind of looks like Donkey from Shrek.
right?
Look, that's
Especially
on the
since
top.
it's one of his babies. Because doesn't
Oh
the
my
babies?
Yeah.
He has babies with the dragon.
This one really looks like Donkey from Shrek. Looks like he just jumped off of a fence and he's like, "Wee!
He just jumped out of the shower. He's like a fur ball.
I'm flying through the air right now. This is not good."
That thing in the air.
Right.
I
That's
am
more
flying
like
through the air right now.
Chupacabra, Right?
Oh, I love this from Fap. That thing drew the short stick when it came to the cryptids.
Isn't that thing more like Chupacabra?
Really, guys? This is what I got?
Oh man. Oh man. Yep.
Good one, Sonny.
All right, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on something for just a second here, and we'll take a quick little 5-minute break for anybody who might have to use a bathroom. And when we come back, you guys go ahead and let us know where you want to go. We only got about an hour left here, so let us know where you want to go in the chat. If you have any questions for the panel here tonight, for Sonny and Amanda and Papa Willy. And the next cryptid we will be discussing is this one. It is a unique one, to say the least.
He looks very enthused with whatever he's doing.
Lots of soul sucking going on.
Doesn't
here.
look very dangerous. Doesn't look too dangerous.
I don't know. Look at that
Lots
thing,
of
though.
soul-sucking.
I could take him.
The brain power behind
Does he
that.
look like he's got square teeth too?
I might even
I
be
think I
giving,
could take his ass. I could take him.
Let's see
Give
its
him
claws.
giving Melissa a run for her money. I'll tell you what on that right.
It's the Chupacabra.
Settle down, Melissa. Settle down over there.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Zenze Bell says it is a
Cryptid.
cryptid.
A cryptid.
Yeah.
A cryptid. I'll take
Oh,
it.
that's one of those cryptids.
Oh man.
Maybe when we come back, we'll talk about how flat the Earth is.
Oh Jesus, guys, don't start this. Don't start on that.
We'll have to show how flat
If the
it's
chat wants to take it there, go for it.
not. We got pictures.
There is evidence out here, though. If we want to talk flat Earth, we cannot do it without bringing this up. This
Wow.
is possibly the most convincing evidence ever. Do I
no
look
flat-
flat to you?
Nothing flat
These
about
are fair
that.
I mean-
questions. Fair questions. Lots of water mass. Seems to be curvature at points.
Lots of curvature.
Lots of
Firmament,
curvature.
for sure.
You want to talk about an 8-inch drop?
Oh man. I mean, the moon honestly even is like, damn. Look at that. I mean, I'm just saying.
Badass.
8-inch drop per
Badass.
mile, they say, huh? 8-inch drop per mile.
That booty dough.
That
booty
booty dough.
Oh my god.
Right, or
We're
goes-
so ridiculous. Ben and Joe are gonna be like, hit me up like, excuse me, Will. Did
You are no
uh,
longer available.
You are
You're no longer on the channel.
Oh man. So yeah, guys, we'll be right back. And like I said, we can.
We'll be right back after these
Good
messages.
point.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom.
All right, guys. Let me pull this. Oh yeah, let me pull this up over here. Jeez, I gotta actually. It's been so long. Let me put this on in the background.
That's what she said.
Let me. I don't even know which one works anymore. Hopefully it's this one and not the other one. Here we go. And we're back. Let's see, guys. We got quite a few suggestions on what we should bring up next. Some good, some admirable. Well, they're solid suggestions. Bigfoot, Anon, or Connor. If I don't know if we're friends on Facebook or not. If you look up William Townsend, you should be able to find me on there, and I can send you a link. And he had suggested, I do believe, where was it? Admiral Byrd, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I missed that one. I thought I seen that pop up. Operation High Jump. Yeah, that's a fun one. Have you ever looked that up before, Chad?
No.
If you want, I guess let's pull up a
Doesn't
couple.
sound like I'm really in this community. Does it?
Dude, there's no, listen, no one of us knows everything. That's not a thing. Believe it or not.
Operation High Jump, officially titled the United States Navy Antarctic Developments Program.
So that'd be a fun one. We can put that on deck. I love Zero Cool here. Oh, dang it, I missed it. Anyways, at one point he said that the music always makes him want to jump on a horse and stab someone.
Holy.
Don't know if that's what I was going for with that music, but I can respect it.
Hide all your knives. Jeez.
That's true. I can do
Swords.
this. I am getting more messages tonight and phone calls than I have ever got in my life before being on here. Let's see. We will send... Oh, hang on. I believe I got the friend request. Look at that. He's on it.
Welcome back to another episode of the UFO Garage Podcast.
Where we're super prepared, as always. Oh, man, guys. Man, where did it go?
Second half hour of UFO Garage is brought to you by... Do we have any sponsors for the show?
I don't think so. Right now, we're sponsored by the UFO Garage Podcast.com. If you guys want to go there.
You.
And yeah, maybe the Chop Shop, Paranormal Chop Shop supports us, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe the Chad Smith Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by the Chad Smith Podcast. Check out our latest episode, the Eddie Haskell interview, at youtube.com/the Chad Smith Podcast.
Oh, man. Let me see. I just send this over here, and then I will stop messaging people because I have a show to run, guys. All right, you can share that to Connor if you are friends with him, and we'll get that squared away over there.
If you guys aren't subscribed to the UFO Garage Podcast, please hit that subscribe button.
All right, so the suggestion, one of them was the Operation High Jump. Did you look that up at all, by the way?
Yeah, it was the
we are sponsored by Google Image Search. That is kind of sus, Zero Cool, and I will take a drink to that. To those that want to get the sus t-shirt, please go to the UFOGaragePodcast.com and you can get your sus t-shirts by yours truly. Help support the show. And guys, let's announce this now. For those that might be interested, Dave Scott let us all know last night they're throwing a shindig down in Vegas, April 22nd through the 24th, I believe, of 2022, if anybody wants to go party it up. And also, we're announcing, man, it's so hard to concentrate with you guys tonight. I love it.
I didn't realize.
That Chad and I are going to be taking a road trip in 2023. This is something we did talk about.
Okay, I guess we're announcing that.
We're going to take like a month off of work, and we're just going to start traveling the United States to meet all these lovely people that we have met through this community, and we're going to vlog our way across the United States. So Chad's going to get this set up for us, because Chad's got this.
I guess once it's on the internet, you can't go back.
We're going to set up like a PayPal or something, and if anybody would like to fund that, that would be awesome, because we would love to actually come out and meet you guys in person. I would honestly love to do some episodes in person with you guys, and just hang out, just to do this.
That'd be a fun time.
And life's too short. Not a single one of us are promised tomorrow, and I think we should shoot for bigger things in life. Sometimes I feel like we get too caught up in the everyday living, working back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think an out west trip would be awesome, especially if we live streamed it the whole time we were going.
Oh, bro,
Big Willy,
so
I gotta pull. You gotta pull this thing over. You gotta pull over. Did you bring the toilet paper?
Feel like Tommy Boy. Richard, just trying to take a piss on the side of the road.
Hey,
I can't.
You said 5 minutes, and I'm Union. I'm taking my 5 minutes.
I'm Union too, brother. We still got 5 minutes. I'll be back.
It's a figure of speech. By the way, guys, it looks like Connor is going to hop in the chat for us, so this will be awesome. We'll get to hear from him in a minute. He hopped in and back out, so hopefully he gets the link again. He's able to join back in.
Melissa, we're going to need the keys for the van for that trip. So if you could just bring the van back over.
Yeah. What are the chances a serial killer spree breaks out at the same exact time across the country? Man, Fap, that kind of hurts. Come on.
I mean,
Couldn't
the
be
chances
that
are still
sus.
pretty high, but
Serial
you don't
killers
need
are
to bring
probably
it
out
up.
there at all times anyways, right? Whether it's Chad and I. Oh, my gosh.
We might as well
Come
take
over here. We'll do the podcast on the beach.
Oh, that'd be so
Could you
cool.
imagine? Fun fact about me, I've never seen, like, the ocean, like a nice sandy ocean. I've seen the ocean in Alaska. I got family in Alaska, and I went there a couple times, but it was just like stone and ice. There wasn't like a peeling,
I've seen it
laid-back
one
beach.
time in North Carolina, but it was like 1,000,000 degrees and the humidity was higher than 100%, felt like. And my friend was like, "There's the ocean," and I'm like, "Great, where's the air conditioning?"
Melissa.
Oh,
What'd
man.
Melissa say?
Melissa's just jealous.
She said that's romantic spooky.
Oh, we'd have candles and we'd have the whole thing.
Well, no, because I was gonna say
Dinner on the beach.
I live on the same beach that Tom DeLong lives on, so we can
Blink
go over there and harass
182?
him.
I
Yeah, man, we
100% would go out
We'll
there
go over
and
there
belt
and-
out some music.
We'll go over there and harass him for Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Dave will love that.
Really quick, guys, let's bring in Bigfoot. Please correct me. Connor, I know your name's Connor. I apologize. How do you say your last name on here? Because I feel like I'm murdering it every time. I apologize.
Bigfoot Anon, like anonymous, guys. Anon, you guys are like cringing when you guys
Bigfoot
say it, but
Anon.
it's all right. Call me whatever. It's about energy. I'm not big on names. Even Bigfoot Anonymous started on SoundCloud, so it's expendable. It's about the energy, the message, and coming together. But yes, man, awesome to be here tonight. Crazy time in the world, of course. A lot going on, a lot of UFO encounters, a lot of BS space missions. They're pushing it in every agenda. I can't even watch a football game without Michael Strahan being the next Neil Armstrong. They should all listen to Buzz Aldrin, man. He was telling them how it happened. It was never filmed. Stanley Kubrick, did the moon landing. Operation Fishbowl, we know they found the firmament, the dome above us. And what did they do? They nuked it, of course. They know nothing else other than violence and destruction. And who was on that mission? Walt Disney. So why is the Disney logo a kingdom and then the dome right above? He's putting it right in our face. And one of the first Pixar short film movies were about the other continents. And we were going to talk about Admiral Byrd. He went beyond the poles and found luscious jungles full of mammoths and an advanced race of people or beings. And they actually took his ship and drifted it down to the ground, gave him a bunch of crazy advanced knowledge. He came back, gave it and shared it. He died 2 years later after being locked up. It's really sad because he was a Medal of Honor. So if you support the troops, that's the highest we can go. And he came up with this story and had advanced details and also documented it live while all of it was happening. So it was a very well-known thing, but it's been swept under the rug. But those who have went beyond the 6 continents that they give us, we have found out they're hiding so much. You just have to look at the United Nations logo. It's a serpent right over the flat Earth map. There's thousands of continents out there. The ice wall divides us between what's out there and what's being swept, just thrown into our face ever since we've been little children. Mount St. Herman is the Paramount Pictures logo. That's where the fallen angels came down and landed. And then the universal thing, Baal, the goat man god, all of it is 666. And I don't want to seem preachy at all, but I'm combative against this evil force. And we're being hit with these evil forces in every single wave. So I can scream at the top of my lungs and it will still never be enough because every single day is a battle against our consciousness. And if you guys don't, and of course not you guys or anybody in the community that's here live and direct, because clearly we're in the right spot right now. But the people that are out there, the naysayers, the skeptics, the ones that are diffusing the truth out there, they have a huge agenda to cover up freedom. And it's just, it's so horrible to see it unfold. And good people, our loved ones and ones we cared up for and grew with, and they just threw in the towel, man. So we're some of the last brigade. We're the last crusaders. And it starts with the truth. So I'm always preaching the other continents. Heaven is a real physical place. I don't care if you are religious, scientific, or paranormal. We can all understand that there is some kind of beauty behind our soul, and it can't be calculated in any way other than if you do give it in. And a lot of people we've been tricked, but we just have to break upon it. And it's never too late. These people who have been marked by the beast, you can still stand tall and fight, because there's no end to this when you still channel your soul, because it's all eternal. And again, it starts with Bigfoot. It starts with the giants, the mound builders. They're sweeping up our ancestors. Honest Abraham Lincoln talked about the giants roaming before the waterfalls at Niagara were flowing. Then I've even narrated over 10 hours of newspaper articles of these giant bone excavations across Ohio, San Francisco, New York, the Oklahoma Native American reservations. There are so many different stories. And then you try to correlate them with across the world. They had all these Stonehenge giants, and then they swept up all the American pyramids. And I've been to about 6 of them and filmed them and trying to uncover, no one knows about the Kolomoki Pyramid in Georgia. It's 100 feet tall. And then there's 6 in a semicircle. And they all align with the summer solstice and the winter equinox. Do you think the Native Americans just were like testing and got that all right? No, there was clearly some kind of advanced connection with either nature, the gods, extraterrestrials, UFOs, the other things that they're hiding right now, but it's just right beyond the veil. And again, we have that battery inside us, that soul. That's something they can't take. They can't calculate it. That's everything they're after, and that keeps us forever, man. Coincidence is the only thing to never exist. Energy is never created nor destroyed. We've just always been, and that's just like a beautiful power. So all this raging and caging up, that's really, it's no coffee, it's no hard drugs. It might be a mixture of psychedelics and ganja, of course, but it's not the stuff on the corner. It's just knowledge, and it's knowing that they're covering up so much out there that has just been documented. I'll stop rambling and let everybody balance out in a second. But the Ocheesee Pond Wildman here in the Panhandle of Florida was captured in the late 1800s, and then it was sent to the Capitol. The Capitol sent to a lunatic asylum right at Chattahoochee.
Really?
There was a movie I made about it called Chattahoochee with Gary Oldman about how they had cruel experimentation. Well, think what they did to the Sasquatch. 3 years later, it died. They said it died. Of course, there's a deep underground military base right underneath the hospital. So I think it's really an entrance probably to Middle Earth or some kind of extra channel that may link into other spots in this place. But they have that Ocheesee Pond Wildman buried there. And one of my good friends works there. So I've been filming around, and I filmed actually a couple entrances down to the tunnel. And his landlord, his boss at the work, came up and said we can't film and can't release it. It's just a lot of big cover-ups. And I just want everybody to know about the Ocheesee Pond Wildman, the Sasquatch that was captured in the 1800s. But Finding Bigfoot, Expedition Bigfoot, all your favorite Bigfoot shows, they don't want to cover it. So I think there's something to it. And it was on the front page of the New York Times. And of course, the newspapers, they spread, a little bit of false narratives and twisted truths. But dating back to these articles, if there is correlations between different decades, different newspapers, front page, back page, side column, it was just news back in the day, guys. It was beautiful news. And I feel like the news, Operation Mockingbird happened. So the CIA infiltrated the media. I'm an investigative journalist. Like that, I've written 4 books. I dive into truths. So I'm all about the media. But my media is maybe truth, factual. I don't have anybody pulling my strings. I'm just fighting. I'm fighting for a cause way bigger than myself. It's something that gets me hated by everybody that knows me in real life, but then other people are awakened and they're like, yes, wow, I see the light. And that's what it's about. Of course, you got to be the outcast in your normal life and be comfortable with that to get anywhere. I work at a comic book store, and I still get laughed at for believing in this stuff. And it's not even believing at this point. We have hair samples, vocals, different pictures, photographs, historical things. Like, we could put a murderer in jail for the rest of his life with the evidence we have. But of course, some people can never hop on it. Just like the UFOs, they'll always say it was a meteor or something. They give some kind of whack explanation, but fact is stranger than fiction, and I just love walking that walk. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, dude? Are you gonna say anything, or are we gonna have to run the whole thing?
Yeah,
we're gonna have to just carry the whole show, I guess.
Well, that's my UFO side of me, and of course I got a couple cool stories about UFOs. But yeah, man, I just feel like the elites are, washing us.
Let's do this to start out. First of all, thank you for coming on. And secondly, where can people find you? I know that they'll probably post it up here. Melissa, I don't know if you can. I know I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel as well, so I'll post it up if nobody has that. But do you know can you let people know where they can find you in case anybody would like to hear more from you?
Yes, definitely. I definitely appreciate that too, and I will make it quick. I will try to. But Bigfoot Anon on YouTube. I do daily expeditions, and I have like 2-hour weekly videos that come out. And then TikTok, Bigfoot Anonymous. I was just on live. I'm actually on live right now. We got 102 likes. Yippee. But I have 28,000 subscribers or followers. So my whole brigade is going strong. Again, all my aunts and all my crazy friends that think I'm wild, I'm like, yeah, I might be wild, but look at this whole football stadium behind me of wild people too. Of course, it's just fun spreading the knowledge, of course, because I have a lot of fun trolling the trolls, but also building the spider web. As Mel will tell you, she sees me on a lot of shows, but I'm also at a bunch of real life conferences and campouts. Like, this is IRL for me. This is real life.
Nice.
I love when it turns virtual into real life. Like when I meet you guys down the road, it's going to be like, you guys remember that first night when you were just rambling on and I thought you were a wild man. But then we're going to be around the fire, sparking up, taking some psilocybin mushrooms and maybe some Hawaiian baby wood rose potions and getting all of our extra senses aware and alert. But yeah, I'm IRL with this. But
nice.
Of course, you guys can check my books out. Where are they at?
Awesome.
On Amazon. Oh, here they are. I got a couple of them. I just wrote Eerie Swamps, Road Trip to Eden, and then I got Big Brother Bigfoot. These are my two favorite. This one is my diary. It documents from Lake Erie down to the Florida swamps and then the Garden of Eden. It's an actual trail right here in Florida in the Panhandle where 27 of the 28 trees in the Bible are in that trail. And then gopher wood, which Noah used to build the ark, lightest and strongest wood, also known as long pine terrea. One of the only few places it grows in the whole world is right here. And of course, Stacy Brown filmed that 9-footer Sasquatch that was all over Finding Bigfoot and Discovery Channel, like right in this area. And then the Ocheesee Pond Wildman, the one that was captured. And then there's a bunch of Civil War things. So it's kind of cool because I say it's a road trip to Eden. A lot of people look at heaven and Eden and Atlantis as like mystical, metaphorical places. But, the heavens declare the glory of God and the firmament showeth his handiwork. I talk a lot, get worked up, but it's never been handiwork. These places are real physical place, handiwork, and I think there are many Edens. I think there are many Atlantises. This Earth is like 10% of what it used to be. Jack and the Beanstalk, guys. Come on. Lord of the Rings. Like Middle Earth and Earth above us. There's so much. But the dome only goes 73 miles up. So we're closer to heaven than we are to each other. And I see Dave's down there.
I was to say, there is no help for this crew.
He's going to get a taste of this in January. I'm going to be on Spaced Out Radio. But I know with Dave, he is a wild man himself. So he's going to bring it himself. And I know all of you guys are. You guys keep me cracking up in the morning. Sonny and Chad, I definitely love the morning shows. Eddie Haskell.
Oh, thanks, man.
That was a great stuff. Mel is your guys' like, I don't know, mother / mascot / everything. And that's a strong backbone for you guys. So it's pretty rad. Real quick, of course, Big Brother, Bigfoot. This one's my research project, guys. This documents my journey from up in Canada down to Florida, and then I lived out in my car across America. So Grand Canyon, wow. New Orleans, Jackson, Mississippi, Las Cruces, New Mexico, Los Angeles, San Diego, a lot of cool places that we got to navigate and stay at because I was part of a punk rock musical. And then we kind of downsized to a punk rock band that would just play and post up at any street corner and take any open stage. But it really doubled down my depth. You know, I'm from Ohio originally, and I was on this stuff, you know, but then I got thrown into the culture and had to live out in my car and played at dingy rock band clubs and been kicked out of places. So it's been a fun journey. My last little rant, of course, before we get on to more rants, of Luis promotion, you know, while I got the stage. And this will crack you guys up. I'm in 2 movies, and this was right up Big Willy's alley, man. This is called Zillifoot. I'm in this, and I play basically myself, and it's basically a half Godzilla, half Bigfoot that gets summoned by an alien invasion, and the military brings me in, and I walk in, I'm like, guys, they're coming from the firmament, from the Middle Earth, from all the extra colonies, we have to bound together, you know, just having a lot of fun, and they're like, you're probably right, but you got to get the heck up out of here, and it was really fun. It's like a hodgepodge film. It's a kaiju film. It actually did so well online that it got a widespread release. It's in Walmart, FYE, Best Buy, probably in like the bottom corner or like the bottom of the $5 bin. But my scenes, I'm honestly really proud of them. Everybody else's scenes, were very lazy, but it is a fun hodgepodge. My director, though, Jack McClellan, he's a genius filmmaker. He's made a Bigfoot documentary called Bridges, and he lives right around here. He had a Dogman encounter. He was just on Vic Cundiff radio, so it's crazy that 2 of us can just find each other and unite. But we just made this movie called The Void Cat, and this is about a werewolf / splinter cat. And look at your boy right over here. I'm the main character. It is hilarious. It is so campy. But I'm a researcher. I basically play myself, but my name is spelled with an ER instead of OR. So every weird thing I do, you can't blame me personally. It's the
it wasn't
ER
him.
comic.
Totally different
Yeah,
guy.
it wasn't me. Got me banging on the sofa.
Speaking of,
but this movie is hilarious, and it's doing really well in like the short film circuit. It's in a carnival right now, a video carnival in Los Angeles, and we got selected as a finalist. And I said it to my mom yesterday. I had dinner with my mom, and we got note that we were in the video carnival, and then the very next day we got note that we're in the top 2. And I like made a joke to my mom. I'm like, well, they must have only had 3 people. And she's like, why would you say that? Well, Mom, I'm confident enough. I love this movie. I live and die with this movie. So I can make jokes like that. And I don't care if it was 3 people or 300. It's a freaking wild film. The trailer is on YouTube. Any of you guys, though, I could definitely – I'll drop the link in the private chat. StreamYard privilege, baby. That's what it's about. But Mel, you can get it too.
Speaking of,
you're the backbone.
Speaking of StreamYard, guys, we do have another guest, so I'm gonna bring them in really quick. We'll even let this guy in. What's up, Dave Scott?
I'm still a little cranky over Spooky Morales.
Hi, Dave.
Given you set him up beautifully. And then he doesn't even hit the trumpets on the out cue,
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. Dave, take it easy on me, man, please.
It's totally painful.
Isn't that crazy?
You try and get a guy ready to pump up the crowd and say goodnight. He's got one fucking thing to do the entire show. One thing to do.
143.58.
Oh, man.
Hey, boys.
He'll never let you down again after that little speech.
That's the last time, man.
He's going to have an AI spooky. An AI spooky with a trumpet.
I know. Good old Spooky Morales.
I just hope he's not expecting that in Vegas.
Ooh.
With a real trumpet. You got to show up with a real one. Spooky, take it away.
Walking down Las Vegas Boulevard, playing the theme song on his trumpet.
Spooky, please find your hotel room. Thank you.
Nice hat, Bigfoot Anon.
Thank you. Who's on the back of your hat or the front of your hat?
California, bud.
Oh man,
San Francisco Giants. I was just talking about them. And guys, Cleveland Indians. They should keep the name. Cleveland Guardians is a really cool name, but I'm so sad that they're getting rid of this, and I think they're trying to basically wipe off a whole race of people, just like they did to the mound builders. They got rid of the Redskins. They got rid of the Cleveland Indians. Of course, if you ask the ancient tribes or the old tribes, the archaic tribes, they will tell you that it was based on honor, and that's how you find pride. So in 10 years or even now, just think about they're going to start thinking the pale-faced people found America, and it's just a shame to see how things are going. So I will wear the Chief Wahoo hat until the day I die.
Bye, Dave.
Bye, Dave.
Bye, Dave.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. He just left.
He just came in to throw me a couple jabs.
I think so.
They just got rid of one of our Fresno High. They took it off of there too.
I was hoping that Connor was going to drop some knowledge on Davey.
Right? I was going to see. I had a question for Dave, but he was gone too fast. Well, I tell you what then, guys, really quick, since it's 11:11, and Tammy, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't put in the chat yet.
11:11.
Kind of cut deep right now. But I think that's because it's not 11:11 her time, is it? I just thought about that. We're on different times. Are we really, though?
I'll post it. Are we really? What is time? Let's get into that.
Well, okay. Let's start with Papa Willy, and because I figured we got everybody in here, so let's get going with this. Papa Willy and Amanda, what is your guys' perspective on the word time? What does that mean to you?
Nothing.
Me either. It's all going on at one time. Past, present, future, all happening at the same time.
Spooky, what do you think about that?
I think time is something that we don't really understand in the grand scheme of the universe. I mean, we live in this confinement of these calendars and time systems. I mean, like right now, it was like 4 o'clock when it started to get dark here. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I hate that too.
It's totally unacceptable, man. I mean, less daylight, really?
Why? So, you're in California, right?
Yeah, I'm in Southern California.
Why do they keep doing this? Leave it alone. Why do we keep having it dark at 3:30? It starts getting dark here, 4 o'clock.
It's just part of the slave system.
Yeah, if we just leave the time alone, though, it'd be okay. But not really. It doesn't maximize. I'm still working at 6 p.m. and it's dark by that point.
Yeah, but I think the question about time and how we don't understand it. It can be expanded into we talk about multi-dimensions and, everybody wants to know about these beings that, people encounter. And that's when we really don't understand about time. When we look inside our minds and we make contact with these entities, beings from other dimensions and other times, I mean, we're talking about time that we can't even understand and fathom. It's ancient doesn't even describe it right.
Nice. Mm-hmm. What do you think then, Connor? What do you think about time?
Time is just man-made, of course. Like we have this experience, of course, just happening, and then we have to calculate it and break it down and make it real to us, of course. But it's not real to me because October is not the 8th month, November, 9, Deca, 10. I know there's some kind of stupid explanation for that, but they have been rounding up the 24 hours for our whole life. So everything that we think is just a little off. But I'm not going to crap on anybody's astrology, but because there's just a higher connection. It's all energy, and I'm big on energy is never created nor destroyed. So like ancient doesn't even do justice for it because ancient is a man-made word and that's experienced by man. Earth is just so eternal, and that word doesn't even do enough. It's honestly silly. But our protons and electrons, we have the ability to become particle and waveform. Most of the time, most of this experience, we are particle. We're solid. But we can become waveform. And I think all these creatures like the fairies, these weird entities and deities in the sky, and of course the Sasquatch and maybe the lizard people have the ability to manipulate these vibrations and maybe send infrasound or echolocating, and then they're able to malleable their insides and their existence is malleable basically. and they could just tap in and out. And I feel like humans had that ability way back in the day, but now we just have petty lives, and we're just poisoned by fluoride and Wi-Fi and even lights, and everything is just to break us away from our true experience. So I just try to strip from it as much as I can and do as much DMT and psychedelics and try to talk to as many interesting people. And it's, of course, I do a lot of talking, but it gets us somewhere. But I love just, exploration and expeditions. I spend most of my time in the state parks and looking for arrowheads and shark teeth. So I'm just trying to get back to where we were, and I'm going to die trying.
So what about this then for the fun of it? And let's go with Sonny here. Good old Sonny. Sonny Conway.
What's up, Sonny Conway?
Sonny Conway, I'll tell you here in California. I'm an Okie at heart.
Yes, I am.
What is your thought? And you've hit on this before. Oh, wait, is Amanda heading out? If she is, let's let her say a proper goodbye
I'm
here.
not.
Are you heading out?
No.
Oh, I thought you were. I was going to say, well, at least before you run.
You want me to?
No.
You want me to do it again for you?
I don't want you to pull a Dave Scott. He just pieced out.
I know.
But anyways, really, we're losing people. People just leaving.
Right.
Oh, no worries. Okay. Sonny, you've hit on this before about the idea and concept of how we perceive light. So the difference between one person to another perceiving even just a color. If we were to take it a step further than the color, is there a chance that we actually perceive? How do we know that the word I'm saying is the word you're receiving? Like
thought
the
about that
waveform
so
of
many
that.
times.
We don't.
So many
That's
times.
just it.
Green to you could be something totally different to me.
The reason I think that is because everyone's different taste in music.
What'd you say?
So what sounds good to me? Well, for me,
How
I
do you
love
know?
everything. I listen to from classical music to rap music, hard rock,
Same here.
razzle.
That's a California thing, I think. We all listen and vibe to the same shit.
But if I like country music, somebody else might not like it because they listen to classical music. It might be a total different sound to them. That's what I always thought. Maybe we hear different things.
Yeah,
maybe
could be.
their classical music might sound like my country music to them.
Would you want to chime in, Alicia?
That's then the colors. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
colors.
know if your blue is actually my blue. Maybe my blue's green.
That's
What
always
about-
tricky out too.
What about this one, Chad?
Thank you, Oracles.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I shared that. Sorry. Sometimes I'm doing stuff over here and I forget I'm even doing
You don't even
this.
know what you're doing.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
What's up, dude?
When it comes to experiences, like this has happened before where people have, let's say, within the UFO phenomenon, where people have had a sighting or an experience, and it's not solely just the UFO community, but when they have an experience, it's
Let me call you back.
like Mick even brought this up on the show last night with Dave, where he said, well, you had Commander Fravor had this timeline of roughly 5 minutes. Her timeline was 10 seconds. So you had, and he was like, how do we rationalize that? What do we do with that when people are having an experience and it's two very different experiences? And this has happened where they even see different beings and have different words they're hearing. So how do you rationalize that as someone who's relatively newer-ish to the topic when you hear of an experience and it's vastly different from the other person who witnessed it?
The first thing that came into my mind when you said that was maybe the person gets the experience that they need.
I love that.
Like maybe somebody needs a little bit more of a lesson than the other person needs. Like me, I've never meditated. Spooky, on the other hand, meditates 3 times a day. He could be meditating right now. So Spooky's not going to need the same experience with a different dimension or a different entity than I would. I'm going to need a long stay. I'm going to need a couple weeks to get a little bit more initiated, I would guess you could say.
Just
So
with meditation, just start slow. Learn the process and what makes you feel good and how you feel comfortable doing it. Don't try to make too much of it to start. Just try to focus on blocking out noise. Try to focus on your breathing, and as the thoughts come into your head, just try to tell yourself. See, the thing that people don't understand about meditation is that you are learning about yourself. like never before. You can't do it. You can't learn about yourself if you don't block everything out and all the noise. And it sucks because you're going to have to turn off, some podcasts. You're going to have to not watch a football game. You're not going to, but if you can just find 10, 15, minutes in your day just to be with yourself, you're going to love that you gave yourself that time. I mean, you owe yourself.
Yeah, I like what Tammy said too. Deep breathing and focus on a candle if you need to. Have a candle going.
I know
That's
it's
a good
cheesy.
idea.
It's cheesy. I've said it before and people have laughed in the chat. But you really do owe yourself to know yourself.
It makes total sense.
I love that point right there that you bring up, Spooky, because I can't for the life of me right now remember his name. But the first time I ever heard him, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he has his own podcast as well. He's a very critical, one can almost say depressed kind of thinker, but he's just very realistic in the way he views things. And he talked about these journeys that he would take where they would go in the mountains, and it was they'd go for 2-3 days, and you weren't allowed to speak. You weren't allowed to speak. You could only write. And I can't for the life of me remember his name right now. He's a famous guy. But he talked about that idea about how getting to really know oneself as being put in a situation where are my thoughts coming from? What's programmed these? Because a lot of times we're just responding to a neurological response, what we think is just neurological, but there's more behind it. And once you recognize that you can essentially program that, then you're kind of hitting that next level. So I really love the way you put that, though, getting to know oneself. Because what is... so say for yourself, Connor, what makes Connor, really, right? I mean, how do you, when someone asks you, who are you, Connor? I mean, how do you actually answer that? You have your basic answer you gave us tonight, but then if you had to go a step further with that, what do you say? What makes Connor?
I'm definitely one of a lost tribe, but I've been constantly looking for my family on this experience and probably many more. And I've definitely encountered a lot of kindred souls and good people. And I feel like I'm just a reflection of everybody else, So it'd be some kind of weird metaphorical answer. But again, I'm all about just finding more about me. So I would just say something like, good question. I'm working on finding out myself. Every morning when I take a shower, I do deep breaths and hum. And every time we go out into the forest, we do hums and we do weird chattering. And I've participated in, negative seances and very positive awakening meditation. So I've seen both sides of it, and I've worked hard on, breaking free from what society has put on me and trying to just touch that natural soul. So I'm a walking conundrum, and every day a contradiction, of course, but I'm working hard on just becoming the best version of myself. So it's just an ongoing project every single day, and I try to represent myself natural, and that definitely gets me in the outside of many circles, but it makes me find the right people. And even just today, man, I had interview drop with Sasquatch Theory, and I was my fun, wild self, and just skimming through the comments, you see a bunch of just negativity, but then you see a couple good people that are like, man, a couple points he was hitting, I've been researching and it feels good. And it's tough. Even me, I'm confident in all what I'm saying and in myself, but when you get that backdraft from this world, that negativity, it's hard to push forward. But you just have to remember the big positive goal and just the bigger picture of it all, and that positivity that just spreads. And it's like, I don't know, it's just like a wildfire of energy. And I just try to be that. I'm just trying to be a catalyst to all the good people in my life and try to be a reflection of what they taught me. All my books are just representations of what the best people showed me in life and my funnest memories, and that's all I'm trying to create is more of those and document them. So one day with Fahrenheit 451 firemen are, looking for Connor Flynn's stuff, and hopefully while we're alive and well, we share memories. And I know that really isn't a clear answer because I'm not a clear guy, man. Every day is a wild new adventure, but I do have that kingdom in sight, and I'm just constantly marching towards it. And I just love finding the good in all, even movies, books, everything, even bad people, man. I had someone saying I'm part of Antifa and burnt down someone's house recently, and he's going through a lot, and my mom was asking me, she's like, you still talk to him? I'm like, yeah, I understand how this world will break you down to you're nothing, and you will hit rock bottom and and lash out to everything because I've been there, you know. So I've failed so many times, but I've got that one step up, just creeping up little by little. So again, I'm just a walking mistake, but sometimes, you know, that clock is right. So it's a beautiful thing when it is.
What about you, Papa Willy? What do you define yourself as when somebody asks, who's Papa Willy?
What happened?
Oh, we were asking who when someone says what makes Papa Willy Papa Willy. What's your answer to that?
That's the $1 million question.
I've been drugged through it and sculpted the way that I am. Pretty much. I've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we don't say we're old. We say we're experienced.
Experienced.
Well seasoned.
You kind of had like a rebirth, though.
Yeah, for sure.
He got into a bad accident and was out for a long time and went in one person and came out not another, but just a refined person.
Definitely more open when I came back. Before my accident, I was, like I said, I watched all the shows and stuff on TV and documentaries and all that stuff when I was young. But the whole time I'm looking for holes. I'm trying to
Disprove
prove it wrong. It can't be that. It's got to be. I was very close-minded and there was rules to everything. And since I had my near-death experience in the accident, and pretty much since then, I listen to the whole story before I start going back to look for holes, and I wait for them to lie to me before I tell myself they're lying.
More trustworthy?
Yeah, definitely. Well, more open to
believing in other things you wouldn't believe in
believing
before.
your perspective on it, because I've seen too much stuff my own self.
It changed the way you thought. Yeah.
Whether it is what you believe that it is, as long as you believe that it is when you're telling me, that's enough for me to at least entertain the idea.
We smoke tobacco.
I love it, Amanda. What do you guys think about and Spooky, you've hit on this before, but the collective consciousness, do you think that there's a communication that takes place behind the scenes for all of us that we don't recognize? So beyond the idea of going internal on oneself, the representation of who William is, do you think there's something further than that connects us even more that we can tap into?
The universe is alive. It's a living thing. And, you know, we all are spirits and we have spirit guides, but we are spirits ourselves. And so by being spirits, everybody has the ability to be spiritual. You don't have to be in a certain religion, but you have the ability to be spiritual. And that's, for me, that's the side that's the most prominent side of me, is the spiritual side. And, you know, when people say we're all connected, I don't think people really grasp how serious that is and how much that means.
Yeah.
I am Chad Smith. I am Big Willy.
I'm the same way.
Bigfoot, Anon. And you guys are all me.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of The Egg by Andy Weiss?
Yep.
Oh, I just sent that to
He
Chad.
just sent that to me.
Whoa.
It blew my mind.
Yeah.
That
For
blew
sure.
my mind.
Oh.
Synchronicities.
I don't think
you
I've heard
read it?
about
He
this.
sent it to
What is
you.
it
Big
about?
Willy, you've
Yeah.
got to watch this. It's a YouTube video.
We
and
are
it's-
all one. And
it
that's
explains
I,
it.
more every day, things convince me that that's more so type like what we're going through is something like the egg.
Mm-hmm.
It's all consciousness opening and awakening. Everything is happening, like I said earlier, at a faster rate than we've ever seen it and known it. That's why it's so overwhelming a lot of times. Is we're like taking all this stuff in and we can't believe the synchronicities and the energies that we all feel. It's what brought us here tonight, all of us together.
Yeah, for sure. I was just me and Cap were talking about this, and I was telling him, since energy cannot be created or destroyed, none of this would be going on. I matter that much. nothing in this world would be going on without me, and I matter, and the rest of the world matters that much, because I would not be going on without them. Like, no matter what it is, all the energy is the same. We're all one.
Mr. Crowley says, "You can be Willy, but you are not Chad Smith."
So do you think, to that idea of what you guys are hitting on about recognizing that we're at the same time the most important thing in the universe, but yet at the same time nothing, because you are everything and nothing at the same time? Do you think there's the negative energy that latches on to people where when they become those really self-absorbed? There's a better term for this than being what's the term for being self-absorbed? There's a
you have to step up for
narcissistic.
Thank you, a narcissist.
Yeah.
Like that would almost be the negative energy, right? And the converse of that being someone who's extremely negative on themselves.
The reason I think that's true is because you can change it with positivity. Like that can be a part of you, and you decide to change your outlook and become a positive person. That negativity lets go. And
Eddie Haskell says, "Inside all of us, there are two bears at war: a good bear and an evil bear. The one that wins is the one that you feed."
Yep, for
I
sure.
love that.
Exactly same concept.
Eddie, I'm gonna put that quote on my wall and put Eddie Haskell underneath it. I love that.
Hey, what about this for the fun of it? For the last, we'll give it like 20 minutes here before we get out of here, because Dave Scott tonight, ladies and gentlemen, has someone, and we know it's going to be a person he talks to, and Chad knows who that someone is. In about 34 seconds, we'll have an answer for you. He said who it was last night. I can't remember now. Oh, dang it. Anyways.
Oh, his guest that he's having on tonight?
Yes.
Tonight he's got the Crypto Guru with Ronald Murphy.
That's right.
Midnight Eastern.
Cryptids.
So is Ronald Murphy the cryptid guru, or it's two different people?
No, that's it.
Or is that the
That's
name
him.
of the show?
I think
Cryptid Guru with Ronald Murphy.
Please tell us where Joe is.
He's not.
I don't
the
know.
Cryptid Guru.
maybe he is the Cryptid Guru. Ronald
Maybe
Murphy,
he
the
is.
Cryptid Guru. To be honest with you, I don't know enough about it, but I'm just reading what the website says.
I just do what the words say.
I just do what the words say.
It's not a man bun.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hey, all 27 of you in here right now, let me tell you something. Dave Scott has an amazing man bun when he wants, okay? And we're going to start calling him, Dave, you come find me, the Jason Momoa of Canada. The Canadian Momoa is what he
You heard it
shall
here first.
henceforth be heard.
Everybody
known
tells
as.
me Cap looks like Jason Momoa, and he has a man bun.
It's the man bun.
Yeah, I
man
like
bun.
the man bun. Everybody don't like it. I like it.
So with the last 20 minutes, let's do this. First of all, you guys had some amazing stuff tonight. One thing I always feel bad about for anybody who tunes into when I do a show versus Joe and Ben is they're freaking hilarious. And I don't feel like I ever have enough fun for you guys. So really lightening it up here for the last 2 seconds. One is, and we'll give you about 5 minutes each if we get, this will give us time to get through all four of you. And we'll give spooky
5
last.
minutes
'cause we
each.
don't know
I've
if he's
never
here.
talked that long in my life.
What is a funny encounter? So let's go with Bigfoot on this one first. You run into Bigfoot, and the way that you find him is he's literally bent over a tree, just letting one go. That's how you found him. What do you do in that moment? What are your words you say to him?
I would definitely ease off of them because, you know, I've been in that situation, and, you know, if someone steps up on me, I'm flinging pine cones, you know, and they have come on Santa accuracy.
Get out of here!
I'm trying
to take care of business. Mom,
I
these guys.
I had feces kind of included in a Sasquatch encounter of mine, and it kind of links with, of course, the theme of the show being UFOs. I was in Pascagoula, of course, which is the famous place of the river alien abduction, the two men that were taken in the 70s and taken up in the spaceship, and this feminine gray that looked over all these small ones, you know, tested on them, and there was this big eyeball that watched them. There's a bunch of documentaries and cool videos about it. But I was out there at a gator farm, and then we were hiking around one of the state parks, and I was doing some Sasquatch calls, which a lot of people don't recommend, but I was trying to rev up the forest. I was with my buddy Adam from Ohio, so I was just trying to be funny. And, of course, we were drinking the day before in New Orleans, going to all the haunted bars. We went to the Dungeon, the famous vampire bar. If you guys are ever down in NOLA, check out the Dungeon. But don't, go in there serious, or else you'll leave with, something you can't get rid of. But yes, the Honey Island Swamp is filled with Rougarou, but the Pascagoula area has these Cajun werewolf creatures. So I'm making these Sasquatch calls, and then a couple minutes later, I'm leaping across these beans. And when I land on one, I have an accident in my pants, and I sharded, and I ended up getting off the high walkway, and then we get to the forest, and I tell Adam, I'm like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I go around the corner, and I've listened to so many Missing 401 stories that it's like you do not separate from the crew. You do not,
100%.
you don't fall into these traps. And I knew I was falling into it, but I had wet pants and I had to check it. So I pulled my pants down a little bit around the corner, and I see that I have to get rid of my underwear, of course. So I get my socks off because I gotta wipe myself, and I pull them down my pants, and something from like 15, 20 yards bluff charges me. I just feel like a force coming at me, and I kind of like stumble over. I didn't fall to the ground, but I was very uncomfortably crossing my legs and stuff. And then I end up pretty much just like internally surrendering, and then pulling down my pants, wiping, and then burying all the poopy stuff, and then pulling my pants back up. And then I end up hiking even more, a couple more miles. And then we get back to the car, and his dad was asking me questions because I said I had to go to the bathroom, one of the like actual bathrooms, and they're like, you could have just went anywhere. I'm like, no, number 2. And the parents still don't know that I crap myself, but Adam knows, and he thinks it's hilarious. But he had no clue at the time, and my whole thing was embarrassment, and then it was survival, and it's hilarious. But Pascagoula, the river aliens, but I think the Rougarou made me poo myself.
Well, good thing we're not live on YouTube or anything. Nobody but us is going to find that out.
I've said it before. We all poop, we all pee. Sometimes you gotta go.
Sometimes it's not at the right time. Yep.
So, Chad, let's go to you. First of all, thank you, Connor, for sharing that story. Chad, let's set you up with a slightly different scenario.
I gotta follow that.
No, you don't have to follow it with a true story. I'm just putting you in a hypothetical situation.
Go.
You finally are having the encounter, right? The aliens have appeared. They're in your bedroom.
Ooh.
And they also want to know what you're watching on your laptop. What do you do in that moment?
Wow.
I mean, we know it's the Trailer Park Boys. We don't have to make this dirty here, guys. It's okay.
Well, obviously, yeah. That's
Offer, just leave it playing, Chad.
biggest supporter of the Trailer Park Boys. The aliens are in my room, and they want to know what's going on. That's what you're saying?
I mean, you're literally under your blankies. You're cuddled up with your dick pillow from UFO Garage Podcast.com.
Right.
And they want to know what you're watching, and you've got Bubbles is there. You've got the glasses on yourself and everything. That is the exact image they have stumbled upon.
Yep.
And
whoa, hey guys, what's going on in here? This is nothing. What can I get you? Do you need a Bang Energy or Welcome to Earth? How's it going, bud?
A red line.
What can I get you? Dude, I would want to take them out. Well, see, that's the thing is they've been here longer than we have, so it's not like I can give them a tour of anything they haven't seen before. I would probably ask them for a tour of, like, show me.
They might show you some things, Chad.
Show me the ways.
They might
Right,
show
what do
you
you?
some
No, not
what do
there.
you-
Jesus, what are you
What
doing?
do you guys like to watch on TV? What would you
Don't
do
touch that.
with your laptop?
Okay, fine, that's all right.
They were going to watch Paranormal.
Right. Oh.
So what about? I just realized we've only got like 10 minutes left. What about you, Sonny? You're out there hunting for Bigfoot, okay? And you have an encounter with that giant thunderbird that we talked about earlier. What do you do in that moment? Do you try to document this, or how do you proceed with that?
Chicken for dinner.
Yeah, shoot.
Chicken for dinner.
That thunderbird's the other white meat. I'll get them.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I'd run for cover, boys. Really, that's big. You don't shoot at something like that.
That's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Pterodactyl.
I
carry it. I carry my phone with me now. I'm taking pictures.
I don't know if Spooky's still there, so I have a question for Spooky, but I won't put him on the spot.
Do.
That'd be
Where'd
awesome
you
to put on
go
the Paranormal
Get your
Chapter.
ass back
from
on
the show?
He's meditating right now.
That's
Yeah.
what's
Universe,
happening.
please.
He
give
was
me
like,
the
I gotta
strength
get
and
out of here.
power to get through this. This trial shall to pass.
These
I need
people are
20 more
testing
minutes.
My patience. I gotta go.
Just get me through 20 more minutes of this craziness.
man.
No,
Yeah,
it's
so
been fun.
I think he decided he didn't want his face associated with the show anymore.
Eddie Haskell has a question for you, Bigfoot, which is, can you ask Anon if he has been to Coral Castle?
I have not, actually. It's on one of my bucket lists down here in Florida. I've been to so many of the weird abstract spots, the Devil's Chair, Spook Hill, the Everglades, a bunch of wild pyramids hiding. But no, I haven't been to Coral Castle. Definitely on my hit list. When I go visit Naples and go to South Florida in June, I'm actually speaking at a conference in Port Charlotte. So if anybody's down there, if you're near Coral Castle, definitely meet me there. But I definitely plan on visiting it and GoPro and the whole thing, because Coral Castle is a unique megalith, basically, and not many people know about it. And definitely appreciate the question. That's incredible.
Heck yeah. Well,
Melissa, Florida is huge. Florida is huge. I live in the panhandle of Florida. I'm actually in the central time zone. So, I'm 11 hours away from the Coral Castle, probably. So it's a wild state, and it is wild. Back to time. Time means nothing because I live right past the timeline, and when I have to umpire baseball games, I have to ask, is it Central or Eastern? It's all made up. It's all just right across the river or not, and that depends on if I'm late or not. But man, I definitely appreciate you guys letting me on and rambling on. And I think Spooky Morales might have needed some meditation because the one comment, compared me to him. They said, I think they're the same person. And I definitely feel it. Spooky, me and him have a bond 100%, but that is a funny joke. Being compared to me, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy.
Oh, no, don't take it like that, brother. You should never be negative on yourself.
We enjoyed you being on for sure.
We're all different. We are all different, and we got to shine. But we are all the same, like you said. One study real quick about that is very interesting was some kind of crossword puzzle experiment. There was an isolated group. They did the crossword puzzle. They got their results. Then there was another isolated group, but the world ended up finding out the results. It was days later, and it was a spoken thing. It was not, the knowledge was already passed, but this isolated group had no knowledge of it. But they significantly did better on the crossword because everybody's brain is linked and they were able to somehow draw that connection. And we are all water, guys. And you guys are all seeing the little scientific experiment when you put water right here, water right here. You say positive things to that one and negative things to that one. So sometimes when you talk negative, it does get all moldy. And when you're positive, it flourishes. So, yes, I definitely appreciate that being checked right there. I shouldn't honestly make little jokes about myself, but honestly, sometimes you have to break yourself down because, as you guys can imagine, probably a lot of people do think I'm narcissistic and self-absorbed and loud and blah, 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 it's like, but no, I want everybody to feel like they're super important because we are.
You seem passionate. You seem passionate about what you're talking about.
And I want everybody to be passionate. And literally what Willy said, I am Chad Smith. I am Willy. I have said that crap before. I am proud of any human being that has done something because that is our energy and that's special. And I think these creatures that we're all researching and looking after have some kind of DNA connection to us. Either we're hybrids or maybe they are our ancient ancestors and we've just adapted. It's just a beautiful thing. But
they're all part of the one too. Yeah, that's for sure.
Pam?
100%.
What'd Pam say?
We are, huh?
Might be.
My
Speaking, my wife says a lot of things
I
to me
say that
all the
about
time.
myself sometimes.
The all one connected thing would make, if it was the energy, it would scientifically explain prayer.
Yeah, for sure. Like power of positive thinking, even mantras and meditation, that's all the same. Praying is like the same as all of it. Yeah, that's for sure. All together at one is like power of positive thinking and in bigger numbers, bigger outcomes.
Heck yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. What I'm going to do is I'll start wrapping this up because I don't want to run too close to Dave's time over there. The Canadian Momoa will come after me with his 8-pack and flex on all of us.
He's almost done with his soccer practice, so yeah, he's coming in from soccer.
The minivan's rolling in.
I just got the word that he's almost done with the practice for the day, so he's going to be in the studio soon in a minute.
We'll tell you what. Why don't we? We'll let Connor, if you want. We'll give you one more time to let people know where they can find you, and we'll throw up your links in the chat again. And then I will get you out of here, brother. And then I'll slowly start getting everybody out of here so we can get over to SOR for Dave Scott.
Heck yeah. I'm super excited for Dave's show, and I'm going to be on Dave's show next month. My handle is Bigfoot Anon on YouTube. I do daily expeditions, but I post on my community page a lot of my other interviews, and once a week I do about a 2-hour video to bring you all along, and I premiere it. So it's a really good time. My books are on Amazon for now. I actually just signed a book deal with Beyond the Fray Publishing, so a lot of the family members are in this chat and Spaced Out Radio. Gemma Jade, Steve Stockton, Kenny the punk cryptozoologist. So it's awesome. And I'm actually going to be a speaker at the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference in January in Lakeland. I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be one of the roundtable speakers, so they're not going to give me a full hour because the place is crazy. But I'm super excited. Bigfoot Odyssey, 168-hour expedition. I got selected for the next one. Again, they told me to check the fairies and the gremlins and the goblins and the crazy other continents at the door. We're just speaking to the laymen about telling them how Bigfoot is real. Cave drawings, ancient tribal lore, and of course all the evidence that's piling up. My team has actually found hair in Mayaka, which is the mecca for the skunk ape, and also in the Green Swamp. We filmed both times we found the hair. We found tons of footprints. I've made casts. I've recorded their whoops, howls. My TikTok, I saw it was just posted on the side, is Bigfoot Anonymous. I post a bunch of pictures that I investigate and find footage of. A lot of it is just all around the world and just trying to, raise awareness. And I'm just trying to open up that conversation. I know I say a lot of wacky stuff, and it might seem like I'm like, boom, in your face about it. But again, I'm not trying to, suffocate anybody. I'm just trying to open up doors for people. Research whatever I say. Don't even take my word for it. Just research it. And then also be empowered if you are onto those same currents, because you have this long-haired, Buckeye Biscuit coming full speed at these naysayers and the skeptics. And I grew up a freaking rapper doing rap battles in literally the shelter in Detroit. And then, of course, I was an MMA fighter, 2-0 in the backyard. So if anybody wants to dispute it, I grew up on the internet. Me and Chad, we grew up on the internet, bro. You cannot troll us. We began this. We were on MySpace messing with people when we were in grade school. So all these boomers,
we're the trolls.
I won't call people boomers. You're only a boomer if you're all the bad characteristics. But all these people that are trying to bush around and be gatekeepers, it's a reckoning coming, guys, because the youth and this whole movement that is building up on the underground. TikTok is exploding. Of course, Instagram is blowing up. And YouTube, there's a new podcast every single day popping up about the paranormal and UFO. So people got to step their game up and open up their minds and stop with the woo crap. We're all supernatural. We feel deja vu. We create worlds when we dream. Our mothers feel us when we're kids. We fall in love. We're electric. We're electric. So I won't have anybody ever sell you, me, or any of our human beings short. So that's why I'm fighting the establishment every single day. And I'm just an outcast at last. I play music. I play the ocarina out in the forest. Just pray for me, guys. I just hope I'm not hit by the Men in Black that we were talking about, or one of these missing 401 cases. But I feel like I'm getting places, definitely. And I just want to be that spark for people. And catch me in real life at all these conferences or at the campouts, man. I love telling stories. I love, rolling up fat blunts and going on hikes. So let's do it. It's all about the creator and knowledge and positivity. And I'm always trying to bring everybody in. Come check me out on my channel and also on the Gypsy Road channel. I'm a co-host over there. We just did a mermaid show recently. It was freaking awesome.
That's cool.
So anybody that's like, man, you should stick to Bigfoot, bro, you haven't even listened to my crazy podcast about Abraham Lincoln actually being a vampire hunter and me going into these vampire bars, hooking up with vampire girls, maybe. But we all got to keep it going. Take it easy, guys.
See you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Open up your mind. I love you guys. Take it easy. See you guys at Spaced Out Radio.
See you, buddy.
Peace.
Thanks. What's up, Spooky?
Oh, Spooky, what's up? It literally just brought. I didn't even put you up on the screen. It literally was
went
like
right to you.
It was like Spooky's up. So Spooky, if you'd like, let people know where they can find you. We're just wrapping up here, and I guess the yin and the yang. We're gonna bring you in to follow up that powerful speech by Connor.
Well, there is no follow up to him, man. No.
Hooking up with vampire chicks and dating witches, he said, and it'll change your life.
Wow.
Could you imagine living that life?
It's fun for a while.
Right?
Oh, man.
Nah, that guy's awesome, man. I love him.
You can find Spooky Morales at the Chad Smith podcast every Tuesday and Thursday morning.
Thank you very much for that. I was going to say the same thing. Sometimes a little bit late.
A little bit late sometimes, but it's always good to see you in there. Got to run the show.
You can also find me on Spaced Out Radio, Monday through Sunday. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Spooky Morales. What else? I guess that's about it for the moment.
Very good.
Oh, Paranormal Chop Shop, of course.
Heck yeah.
Paranormal Chop Shop on Fridays.
Yeah.
You hear that, Willie? On Fridays at
I know.
6 p.m.
I know.
He swings that
Shoot,
wrench,
I
though.
booked a guest that didn't even
Get it right one day.
Get it right, she says.
Oh, man.
Get it right next time.
Hey, it's
Jeez,
not my
you
fault
amateur.
if this fake time doesn't exist. I don't know what's going on, okay? If we were all, you know how much easier this would be if we all had it on the same timeline?
Exactly.
Or
That's
if
so
one
silly.
of the people would have disagreed and said time is the
Time
something.
exists. No, time it does exist. You go to sleep 3 hours earlier than I do.
There you go. All right, Spooky. Well, we'll let you get out of here. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, and you guys safe in the
Bye,
show for
Spooky.
tonight.
We'll see you over at
Spooky.
Spaced Out Radio.
We'll see you
Bye,
at
everybody.
Space Radio. Don't forget to bring that trumpet, for God's sake. The
And
Canadian
your wrench.
Momoa. I'll let you
I know,
have it.
that's
That's all
awesome.
right.
Make sure you got your wrench and your trumpet.
Mhm.
Keys, wallet, phone, trumpet, wrench. Make sure you got everything before you go over there.
Spooky's trumpet.
Hey, Ma, you got the trumpet in the car?
All right, Joe.
All right, Spooky. Have a good one.
Love you.
See you guys.
Peace.
See you, buddy.
All right. I guess we will throw up Chad next.
Hey!
Thanks for coming and hanging out, brother.
Thanks for having me over here at the UFO Garage.
Yep.
So
With a
you can
van that I'd like to point out. What was that, Papa Willie?
Did you say you guys are getting ready to make a trip?
Oh, 2023.
Yeah.
Chad and I
You guys
are doing
coming
it.
through or what?
What's that?
Are you coming this way?
Yep. I don't
We
know
gotta-
if we're going to make it all the way to California, but we're heading west.
We got to lay out a roadmap for sure. We know we got to hit
How far
the
west?
Carolinas. We got to hit Texas. We got to hit the middle somewhere. So there'll probably be like some points.
You gonna be podcasting at all?
Oh, heck yeah. Taco Bell and stuff. We'll just be like
Take a trip.
romantic music to us eating tacos in front of Taco Bells.
I'm bringing my UFO Garage pillow.
I can show you where I seen the TR3B or whatever it's called.
Ooh, snap.
Ooh. The problem is I don't think Willie understands that I have like 2 weeks vacation for a whole year.
Oh.
Well, that's why we're saving up for 2023. And that's why we're crowdfunding. People are going to fund your other 2 weeks off.
I might have to
They
take
got
a
this.
Yeah, and we're union. They're gonna fire you.
short-term disability. Maybe I'll go on short-term disability or something. Fall down a flight of stairs.
4 weeks.
man.
Huh?
Oh,
Yeah,
and
so,
2024. Oh, I'm sorry, Chad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Just really quick. 2024, Chad and I are putting on a conference in Michigan. I forgot about that, too, with Bigfoot Michigan Rob.
That'll be fun.
And Dave Scott. Apparently, that was another thing that
And
we got assigned to.
Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. Man, I got it right that time.
Dude, he honestly has more followers than all of our podcasts combined on their Facebook group. It's ridiculous. They have like 5,000 plus followers on there.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take him out to lunch.
Heck yeah. But yeah, so guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll figure out what's going to happen next. I may or may not have NK Kranda on next. We just got to figure out when and where and make sure our times are right. And we'll find out a time to have Ron Felber back here. I'll do this, guys. I'm sorry. Got us all broke down that way. Well, that didn't work. Jesus Christ. What was that?
What in the world is happening over here? Who's in charge of this damn thing?
What's up, brother?
He's got dog porn going on.
Doug, yeah.
I had so
But
much
yeah,
fun
guys.
tonight, you guys. It was a good show.
Yeah, tonight actually turned out pretty good,
Yeah.
man.
I would love next
Did a good
time we
job.
do a round table that's actually planned, because obviously this one wasn't. We'll have to bring like an actual, like maybe we each pick a topic that we bring to the table, because I would love to
Yeah.
cover the mermaid stuff for sure. Like the
I
oceans,
had a great time, for sure.
so much
I liked
there.
it.
So, guys, if you could, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and please share this. I don't care how you share it, who you share it with. Share it with your ma, your grandma, your grandma's ma, and her ma. All the
Share it
mas
to
of the
everybody
world.
you know.
All
All
the
the
mas.
mas.
Even Dan Aykroyd, if you guys all want to go on Twitter or wherever he's at. And
Hey,
just be
Sonny,
like,
this is Dan Aykroyd. I'm not going to be able to go ahead and do that podcast with you because of that Chad Smith guy that you had on there. He's a little psycho, so maybe if you got him out of there, I'd come do your
Kinda
podcast
sus.
with you. This has been Dan Aykroyd. Good talking to you.
And also, don't forget, guys, sometimes if you guys find any one of us on Facebook and link up,
Stupid.
we do after-hour shows that never get to air, and that's where the real stuff happens. We sing there. All kinds of stuff happens. You guys should hear Chad Smith, voice of an angel.
And for $5 a ticket, you can be a part of that too.
Chad will show you all kinds of stuff, more than a dick pillow, I'll tell you that right now.
Okay. Well, look at the time. It's time to hit the old dusty trail.
All right, guys. Everyone have a good one. Thank you all for hopping on here tonight, and those in the chat here.
Did you hear him?
Be safe. Chad,
It
don't
is a
act like you don't
badass
like
dick
it.
pillow, though.
Don't act like you have friends in there. I know.
Don't
I'm sorry.
act
That
like
was lame. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Stay curious.
Good night,
and keep
guys.
it weird.
See you guys.
You like that? No, that was.